yes, I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Berry, not at all scary. When I open like Fetty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey yo, Scotty, we back.
Yo,
Appreciate you for reaching out. I'm like, hey, it's Outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this Outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off, so glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal, could right here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott, the best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know, but if you don't, then you're lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is Outspoken, and we gon' put on a show, even if we hear you say I can't see. It's Outspoken.
Hey, backpack. I think we got another one. They ain't think we can do it, but we still here. Season 3. It's Outspoken.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Back with another one. Bear with me for a minute. You already know I'll be on CPT time. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this going real quick. All right. I just want to make sure. I had to subscribe again. You know, Bama don't want to subscribe. Bama don't want to hit the like button. Bama don't want to subscribe. Bama don't want to do nothing. But today. Hold on, I got her. I ain't got it set up yet. Let me get you set up, my boy. Let me get you set up. Let me get you. All right. Because it is getting close to football season. So I gotta get my man right. You know, he want the let me see. Here we go. I need just more sounds in my soundboard. I don't even have a few, so I'll be like swapping them out. And then I'll be doing stuff last minute. So then y'all just know, y'all know how I do. Listen, when you see a time on here, just put an ish behind it for your boy. I can't officially put ish on YouTube, but just give me an ish. All right, listen, without further ado, my brother from another, give it up for Perry White.
It's a little too soon for that, Scotty.
Never.
It ain't never too soon for
I
it.
love that, Jake. I ain't gonna hold you. Now y'all don't be scoring too many points, but I do be rocking with that, Jake. Though I do be rocking with that.
We'll get it off a timeout. We'll get it off a turnover.
Something. We gonna get it in though. We gonna slide it in there.
Yeah, just something. You just do time.
What's good, man? You been traveling, you've been rolling, you've been sticking and moving. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, man. I hope all is well with you. Came back with the BMW. You drive a BMW? Is your internet messing up? I just. Are you frozen?
I'm not frozen.
Do you drive a BMW? I'm just asking. You got the hat on. You know, most BMW drivers do wear like the BMW, you know, accessories. You know what I'm saying?
You play for the Mariners?
That's not the same. That's not even close to the same.
Yeah, you know. Just catch me in traffic. How about that?
And see what you got. And see what you're rolling in.
Traffic.
You know what you look like? You look like a Nissan guy.
Nissan?
You see like you drive like a Nissan Altima, the new version, like the new 2018, 19 Altima. That's the vibes I get. I get Nissan or like a Toyota Solara or something like that.
I don't even know what that is, but I see you.
Yeah. Listen, you gonna catch me in a Kia Forte late.
What's up?
Late. I'm gonna be doing it.
You know one thing about me, man, I'm so private. I don't be giving a damn, you know, about what I drive. I'm private, man. Look, if you catch me, you catch me. If you don't, you don't. But you know, if you catch the hints, you catch the hints. If you don't, you don't. So.
All right, you know, private. There's nothing wrong with being private. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being private. Everybody like.
I may ride the bus, man. I may be walking around here.
Nah, not the way you be moving. Nah, not the way you. Yeah. Ain't no bus be traveling the way you be traveling.
I got that bus pass, man. Look, I get on down with it.
Boy, that thing is that's an expensive bus pass the way you be traveling. I don't think nobody can afford that bus pass but you. That is an expensive bus pass.
When I first moved to Baton Rouge, man, I didn't even have a vehicle. The car I had at the time when I moved here, I had an '89 Buick LeSabre, 4-door, right? Sold that thing. You know, when they say you fix one thing, 5 things go wrong. Listen. So I ended up selling it, and when I first moved to Baton Rouge, I didn't have a car, so I lived right there next to campus at the Palisades. So everything was walkable. But then the longer I stayed in Baton Rouge, the more I started to figure out more and more. I had a girlfriend at the time too, so guess what? She had a car, so yeah, so that was all I needed. But
you was like Jody, you know what I'm saying? That's like our car, you know what I'm saying? I put tins on it, you know what I'm saying?
Green Toyota Camry was what it was. Yeah, it was our car. Yeah. She didn't really never let me drive it, but listen, if I needed to get anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere. Job, wherever. School, I could walk over the bridge, get to school. But for the longest, man, I didn't have a car. I was riding the bus, man. But the way I was moving, you know, public transit, like I said, I got that Chicago in me. I jump on a bus, a train. Yeah. I don't care. So, but in the South, especially down here, I had to realize a lot of people are judgmental of public transit. They consider you like you some broke boy.
Yeah.
You know, like They look down on you like you riding the bus.
Yeah, up north they don't really, man. Up north, it's like you take the bus also. You take the metro, you take the, you know what I'm saying?
You catch the metro, you catch
all that.
the L, the
Yeah.
you catch the bus, whatever. Like that's a part of life. And so I grew up public transit. Like I can ride a public transit. It's not hard, especially here. But you know, for a lot of people, they was looking down on me at first when I was down here, man, trying to figure it out and get it together. Cause hey, but nonetheless, I was grinding. I was getting to jobs wherever I need to get. I get to the mall, wherever I need to get. I hop on the bus. I had the schedules down. I was getting cool with the drives, but that's the city boy that sent me in the country.
Yeah, and in the countryside, like they'll drive a 95 something, a 92, like, and they be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just like as long as it get me to A to B. You know what I'm saying? So it's just driving in the South is just way because most things are very, very spread out. So you know what I'm saying? Like you can't take the bus and transit everywhere. My family's from a small town in Texas. There ain't no public transportation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't drive, you either walking or you hitching a ride. It's just that simple. But you know, me being from Maryland, shoot, I'll jump on a ride on real. I'll jump on a Metro City bus in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Take that jank to the Metro Center, and then you just disperse from wherever you need to go.
And I learned my lessons early on. Having to depend on somebody or somebody holding something over your head. I learned that early on. I don't have time wait because now I'm on somebody else's time and they don't value where I need to get and what I need to do. And I'll get up and go. Arkansas, you know, they do buses and stuff like that. But once again, in the South, people have a mindset that if you use public transportation, you're poor, you're poverty stricken, you're at the bottom. And I absolutely hate that mindset. You don't have to be that way to ride public transit, but a lot of people just want to get in the car and get up and go. And they don't quite understand public transit. So for the longest, man,
I think it's the mindset because up north everybody does it, so it's like you know it's a different view of it, right? So everybody like in New York, not having a driver's license is not faux pas in New York. Like it's just like I know Bama's who didn't get their license till they was like 27, 28. You know,
talking about gas that's expensive. I just left Chicago. You're talking about near $5 a gallon, right? You're talking about parking. First of all, finding somewhere to park, and then when you do park, you paying X amount of dollars for only 2 hours. Then you got to come back because they only give you a 2-hour limit, so you won't set up shop or you find, you know. So it's all of these things. Hey, you hop on that train, you hop on the bus, you there.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I came here, like I said, I didn't have a vehicle, and I made that decision to sell that and do what I needed to do and get back on and do what I needed to, you know, for that moment. But hey, the bus was my best friend. Hey, and ain't no shame. Listen. It's one thing about me. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, listen.
When it comes to me,
I think everybody's had like their time with a vehicle that just is like it's just your time, right? I had
no AC. You got to ride with the windows down.
I had a 2005 Ford. It was shoot. I think it was like a Ford. It was a Ford. I call it the Red Baron. Right, it was one of them old Fords. I bought it for like $1,200 because I was getting out the military, just needed something to get me around and whatever. The floor was rusted, so when it would rain, the water would splash up underneath in the driver's side. You know, like that. It was a death trap, but I loved it. A Ford. It was a Ford something, but it wasn't a Ford Tempo. It was like a Ford Taurus. That's what it was. An old Ford Taurus.
What color was it?
It was red. I called it the Red Baron. It was like a burgundy red. Man, listen. That thing was a death trap, but I loved it. Boy, I love that. I love that thing, boy. It was easy to fix, but it was just always something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would be the window motor go out or the AC compressor go out or you know what I'm saying? Like just dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
one thing before things go wrong, man.
And I used to love that thing, boy. I used to love that thing. That thing. But I was like, but when you can see the road in the bottom of your pedal, gotta let it go. Like straight Fred Flintstone style. But I enjoyed it. I loved it, man. I absolutely.
Man, listen, vehicles. Listen, that's part of life. Everybody feel like I guess everybody riding luxury these days, you know, and that's what's up. But Oprah Winfrey once had a quote, and I live by it. Everybody want to jump in the limo with you, but who gonna ride the bus with you? That show you who really down. And so, you know, in life, I've been blessed. Things have occurred, you know, but at the same time, I don't forget where I come from. It ain't no shame in my game, man. Listen, I don't care about judgmental people or how they view you or what they think of you, man. At the end of the day, you got to get it how you get it, and who gonna help you except yourself, right? And no, regardless, and I tell people this all the time: stop living for somebody else and stop trying to perceive life for the opinions of others. My mom taught me a long time ago: you don't give a damn about what others think. Do what you got to do. Live within your means. You ain't got to keep up with the Joneses. Do what's best for you, and stop giving a damn trying to appease and get everybody else to be on board, because just as soon as they on board with you, they'll jump off. But you just giving them something to talk about. And I don't give a damn if you talk about me or not. I don't even like the attention. How about that? So I stay in my corner, and that's why I don't tell you what I drive. I don't tell you where I live. It's a lot of things. I'm a private person, because I don't believe I done been through that stunting stage. When I was young, stunting was a habit.
Get like me.
Hey, it used to be a time where you wanted to stunt.
Oh man,
I live in life now, man. I don't give a damn what you think or what you I don't care. You can have your own thought process. You can say Perry walk everywhere he go. I'll be totally fine with that. Because guess what? I don't even care.
I like
but
that.
It's a lot of people out there, their problems are too much caring about other folks. Stop caring about other folks. Give a damn about them. You broke every day trying to keep up to show folks like you live in this luxurious, like, in social media is the epitome of it these days, Scotty, of everybody trying to live this lifestyle that they want everybody to think that they live in this high-end luxury lifestyle.
Travel, vacation, all type. Listen, if you be on them, if you keep strolling long enough, boy, you be like, man, like, damn, how you?
Hey,
that's the third.
You may have all these clothes and go to their house and they ain't got no furniture and no dishes.
Listen. I've seen some of the prettiest girls on Instagram living in the nastiest places. I be like, God, dog, like.
She too busy calling you a broke nigga at the club, and then she giving that Toyota Corolla, rolling that window down because that AC ain't working. Her and her homegirl.
Yo, got the mattress on the floor. I've been there. Okay, listen, I've been there. Listen, it didn't stop my shit. It didn't stop nothing I was doing. You like?
I'm sure it didn't.
This you? This you? All right,
us. Because I'd have been there too with that air mattress. I'm talking about when I first got my first spot to myself. I didn't have furniture, none. I laid that comforter out on the floor real nice and neat, real good. Hey, put them pillows down. Shorty came in there. Hey, that's what I got right now. It is what it is. My bathroom nice. I know that. I got a nice shower in there. You know what I'm saying? You can go use that thing right quick,
Use that? Listen.
Yeah. Kitchen nice.
Listen. I got
about
3 spoons, a plastic fork in there. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 bowls for cereal and a couple plastic plates. What you want to do? You know,
I got 1 chair. It's a desk chair that's spin around. You got to start somewhere, man. And listen, it ain't too good to tell the story of starting somewhere. It is what it is.
I remember when I remember when I had left Texas and moved to South Carolina. Like it was one of the hardest decisions. I had to leave my kids and everything. Probably the best decision of my life looking back on it. But at the time, it was different. I sold my BMW. I bought a Honda Civic. And I was just like, let me downsize or whatever. Put everything I owned in that Honda Civic. Got to South Carolina. I had a government job that I was starting up. So the first month I lived there, I lived in I found it off Craigslist. It was like 3 people in this house. So I just had a room in this house. And I was like, I can't do this. This is just a little too much. So I found somebody else who was in the military by Fort Jackson. And he was like, hey, I'm looking for a roommate. So it was just 2 people. I got there. I ain't had no mattress. All I had was a TV. I do always gonna keep a TV. I had a TV.
It was the TV with the booty on it, wasn't it?
What? No. This is 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had that TV with the booty, the old school TV.
Yeah, this 2019, right before COVID hit. Right? No, I'm sorry. This 2021. I'm sorry, it's 2021.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so right after COVID hit. So I get to this man. Listen, when you were saying the pallet, that's all I had. I'm sleeping on the floor, right? Making good money. I'm like a GS-13 in the government, but that money ain't been hitting yet. I'm starting completely over, right? So living in, and I'm super frugal. My wife would tell you, like, I hate to spend money. So to me, I'm like, I don't really need a mattress until I need a mattress. You know what I'm saying? So I was sleeping on the floor. I was using like the little cubbies from Target to put my socks and underwear and stuff in. Man, listen, I loved it. It's funny, like the less stuff that you have, the less stress you feel like because it's just like you just got what you need. You know, it's like the basic necessities of just living. Like I got what I need. So I enjoy my though. I ain't gonna lie.
And I enjoy being humble and once again, I don't be caring about keeping up with folks and trying to show folks. And man, look, man, I could care less about that, to be honest. But these folks today be acting like everybody just born with a silver spoon in their mouth. These folks today be too busy studying, forgetting where they come from, Scotty.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't one to act like it's just always been great. There's a story, there's a journey. And I don't have no problem. Ain't no shame in my game, in my journey, in my story, man. Look, when you don't have, it make you appreciate when you do have. And for me, I appreciate everything that I have. I pray every day. I thank God for what I have because I always tell them, man, that journey I came off of, look, it's a lot of places I could be. I'm glad to be where I'm at. I'm glad to have what I have. And I'm glad to be able to have a life to where I can show my son that, you know, it's one step up from what I remember growing up. That's the only thing. That's all we got to do. Each generation, get that one step up for the next generation.
Listen,
I lived in a shotgun house growing up. Walk in the front, out the back. We call it the dog house. That's what it was.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Listen.
The dog house. That's what it was.
Key. Listen, I'm not going. Listen, guys. We're not going to preach our head over it. Key always talks about her struggles growing up and like living like under it in dire times. It's not my testimony. I don't know it. But when she talks about like having to boil water to take a bath, I said, "Oh, I'm done." I threw my hands up. I said, "Oh no, I can't. No, boiling water to take a." No, I'm not doing
on
it.
The stove.
Yeah, I'm not there. Like letting the oven
got gas in the house.
Like oven to heat up the. Nah. That ain't my testimony. Nah, like she would tell me some stuff, and I just be like you had to live through that. Like that was you. Like you lived that. Like that.
I had a neighbor down the street. Me and my friend, we used to call her Big Nasty. And that's what we called her. That was her name, Big Nasty. When you're young, you just give folks names for no reason. But Big Nasty used to walk the block. But what she did was she literally connected the water hose to the house next door and ran it in her house. And then she connected the extension cord from outside and ran it. So she was using the people power and water into her house. Now that ain't my story. But that's Big Nasty story. That was her story.
Yeah,
That was a block around the corner from me.
Listen.
I had homeboys who had roaches, and my mom be like, "They ass can't spend the night over here." You know about that? You ever been in a situation like that?
I had one. Oh my God, I never.
Oh no, you can't bring shit up in this house.
Nah, I remember one time I had a friend, one of my closest friends. His name was Pito, African dude named Pito. And I never spent the night. We just always play video games, go back to my house, and whatever. So one day, I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, can I spend the night at Pito's house?" She's like, okay, cool. So I spent the night. Now, mind you, I probably have never seen a roach inside my house. Like I've only seen roaches outside, like just oh shoot, you step on it, whatever. Water bugs in Georgia, they call them. Savannah, call them water bugs.
Yeah, big ass bug.
Yeah, that fly. Oh my God, those things next level.
You got to step on them 6 times because you'll step on and come back and he'll be gone.
Oh, he did. One wing just gone. So I'm at Pito's house or whatever, and we sleep. We kicking in his room and whatever. We sleep. So I wake up in the middle of the night to go to use the bathroom, right? So I use the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty. Let me get some water. Man, I walked into that kitchen. I hit the light. and all I saw was pepper everywhere. Just
He had them little brown.
oh my, the little. I mean, it was just. I was like, "Where did y'all come from?" I'm like, "This was not here when I went to bed."
Yeah, that's them little brown roaches.
Oh my God, they look like spots, just little like Dalmatian spots. Just go.
They had a colony in that house.
Boy, it was. Dog, I swear for God, if I had never turned the light on, they would have. It just the whole counter would have been black. Like that's how many it was. Just scattered. I said, "Oh my, man, listen." I called my mom. I called my mom because we stay in the same apartment complex. I told my mom I'm coming home. Like I left. That it was like 3:00 in the morning, and the mom was like, "Oh, wait." I said, "I'm going home. Like I can't." After you see something like that, how can you go back and lay down? Where it's like when you feel an ant crawling on you, like you always feel like something's crawling on you. After that, you just be like, you just start. Dog,
in this motherfucker.
I can't live like this. I can't live like this, man. Man, listen, bro.
Yeah,
I said never again.
We came a long way as people, man. Them 90s. I grew up in the 90s, man. You know, saw a lot, but nonetheless, it's good to elevate. Never forget where you come from, though. Never forget where you come from. But let's not act like we all was born. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and most black folks wasn't born with a silver. You may have been born educated with some educated folks. Don't mean y'all had that big deluxe apartment in the sky. So, you know, have some humility about it. Be humble, okay? Because I know you get a couple dollars, you get a little title behind your name. You're a doctor.
Oh God.
PhD now. Oh, I got 2 master's degrees. You know, good for you. You know, that's what's up. But I try to remain humble. I know where I come from. And those humble days are back in the day what keep me grounded, man. I look around and I say, man, it was simple. I stay grounded because of that.
Hey, listen, ain't nothing normal about that, Smash. Ain't nothing normal about that, man.
Roaches.
That scarred me.
That was the time where black folks and roaches was synonymous. Negroes had roaches or rats, one of the two. Let's not act like folks, y'all just come on, especially you from the. There's plenty of folks on here from the country.
Yeah, but it was mouse. It wasn't roach.
I had some mice running around.
Yeah, because you got the open field, like you have an open field in the back, and you know, as whoever, like if they're cutting the wheat or whatever, you'll have mouse. So mouses, I wouldn't really trip it off because you know where they're coming from. You know,
mice, not mouses.
Excuse me, mice. Educated black man, mice. You know,
we had a bunch of mouses running around this month. All the goddamn mouses up in here.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you see mice, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Every now and again. So I wasn't tripping off that, like if I go to my cousin's house or whatever. So like, hey, I ain't bugging off that because you just, you know, it is what it is. But roaches? Oh, no, never. None of my cousin's house had roaches. I was like,
And we was clean. Like one thing about my mom, you gonna get your ass up, you gonna mop, you gonna vacuum, you gonna clean that bathroom, you gonna take out the trash, you gonna get your ass out there and cut that grass, you gonna regularly. There was a structure in my house of when you a child, you going to work. You don't sit around while I go to work, especially during the summers. When I get home, XYZ needs
to be done. Yeah.
Now me, I wait to the last minute, right? I done went and ran the streets all day knowing I wasn't supposed to leave the house or the yard. I done went and ran the streets. I looked, what time is it? 2 o'clock. I know I got 3 hours.
Come back.
Get off at 5. Don't forget to take that goddamn meat out, though. That's where you.
Oh, yeah. Boy, listen. You put that water on extra high. You be like, at the last minute, you be like, oh, shoot.
Don't forget to take the meat out, because if you forget to unthaw that meat, it's over with.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, get your ass.
The first question gonna be like, what the hell was you doing?
What was you doing?
Like, what the hell was you doing?
And you just sitting there.
All right. All right, listen.
See, this is what the people look. Now, the people live life before. Look, it's some older folks. Now, some younger folks, I know, y'all driving Chargers and Camaros, and y'all don't know nothing about them putt-putts back in the day. I drove a putt-putt, man. I did everything I could to keep that Buick LeSabre alive. That joke was just costing me more money.
Nah, I don't know nothing about that. But I know about this Elite 15 coffee, though. I know about that Elite 15 coffee, veteran-owned, black-owned business. Listen, if you want to be like Perry and you want to
David Banner.
Hey, ever seen a Chevy with the butterfly door? Stunting is a habit. Get like me.
If you want to stunt like us, you
How
better
you find that quick?
come on, man. You know how I
How
do.
you was doing that while we was doing this? So you said you was looking for some more sound. I blessed you. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So if once again, if you try to
Stunting is a habit. Get like me. Hey, ever seen a Chevy?
get that Elite 15 coffee, elite owned, black owned, veteran owned, everybody owned 15 coffee. All right, go be elite. It's
I hope
stunning.
the people enjoyed that segment right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a walk down memory lane. Throwback for some of y'all.
Memory lane. All right, let's get into a little hot and viral.
What we got today?
Listen, I saw this question on Twitter. I didn't snip it, but I remember seeing it because when I be seeing stuff, I'm like, would that be a good outspoken segment, right? So it says a song that you wish you could hear again for the very first time.
I don't get that. What that mean?
Oh my God, come on.
Because like it's certain songs when I hear them and I like them, I listen to them on repeat for a week. I'll wear myself out.
Lord.
Okay. And then there's certain songs I don't like at first. And then I'll tell you a song, Peaches and Cream. Remember that song?
By 112?
Peaches and Cream? Yeah. I hated it the first week they was playing it on BET during the summer.
Oh,
by July, I couldn't stop listening to it. Oh, man.
Let me tell you what I want to do.
No about that. When it first came out, I hated it.
That's not okay. That's not the question.
I know. I know.
Okay. The question is a song that you wish you could hear again for the very first. Like it's like, oh man, I wish I could get that same feeling I heard it the first time I heard it.
Good question.
I go first.
Listen, you should.
My thing
came up with this. You should have that already.
Yeah. I got it. Listen, when I first heard this song, I went, and it's not a song that you would go crazy on, but it's a song that just made me I was like, oh yeah, this is it for me. No, when I first heard this song, I was like, ooh.
I'm lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? I'm lost without you.
Man, boy, when I heard that for the first time, boy, you couldn't tell me nothing. All right, let me check some of these comments out while Perry gets his mind together. Somebody said, Pocket Full of Stones, UGK. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that Contagious. When that J first dropped, that's a good one. They Reminisce Over You. That's a good one. So Anxious. Do Me Baby. Far Side Passing Me By. Frankly Beverly and May's Time of Day. Poison. Dear Mama. If Only for One Night. F the Police. Tupac I'd Rather Be. So Many Tears. That ain't it. What? Boy, that J was it right there. I used to love that. Boy, I used to love that song. What you
got a couple, Scott. I got three I can say.
Okay, give me some.
I got Aaliyah, At Your Best.
Ooh.
The first time I heard that, I had just started my... Yeah, that was in my younger days. I had, smoking on that weed back then. You just kind of vibe out. That was one. I got another one. Now, I'm going to use the word, but y'all cover y'all ears right quick. Lil Wayne, Ussy Money Weed.
Okay.
I had that on repeat nonstop.
Okay.
And then I have to go that Leave the Door Open, Bruno Mars.
Oh, that's a good one. Listen, I love Silk Sonic. Yeah. I love Silk Sonic.
But that Aaliyah, At Your Best, man, listen, that'll take you into a whole nother world.
It's a vibe. That's a whole vibe.
It's a vibe. And I was high.
J Boone. I'm single. Hey, that I'm single by Lil Wayne. Boy, that thing was different. I'm single. Yeah, I'm single. Oh, that Jake was it. J Boone, you hit me with that. Hey, that was it right there.
That was on repeat too. That was along with that Ussy Money Weed.
Yeah.
That was all right there. But that Ussy Money Weed, hey, that was ran back for a week straight. I couldn't get enough of that.
You'll say the N-word, but you won't say pussy.
Pussy Money Weed, then, I didn't know nigga and pussy was in the same lines. Excuse me, everybody. I'm so vulgar tonight.
I'm like, what is he talking? I'm like, he be like, man, these niggas, man. Well, you say
pussy a little vulgar. Nigga is kind of like generic. I know it's, but pussy, money, weed, pussy, money, weed. Hey, boy, listen. That song right there. But them three, I think, for me, that I can think of out the top of my head, because I ran them songs back until I got tired. And then what's that other song? This not too new. It's called, is it Essence?
Is it Essence?
Yeah. What's the dude name that's from Africa?
Oh, Wizkid. You talking about
that song hard. When I first
heard
that, I was like, damn.
You talking about this one right here?
Oh man, listen.
Yeah, you talking about that one? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Listen, I go all day because it's plenty. That J. Cole, what he say? Got me up all night.
That love song.
Yeah, listen.
This thing used to go though. When I first heard
it. If you bought crime,
you go back and listen to that again. Grandma. Hey.
Hey!
Oh, I got dreads.
You bought crime, if you bought Lil J on the track, nigga. If you dug, hey, it's time for OFFSCRIPT.
Is enough, viral.
Jumping out from on the stage, throwing boat like Johnny Cage. I'm fucking bones, wrecking it by you. In my eyes, you wasn't wise. I think it's time I knock you, ho.
I come in the club, shaking my dreads, throwing these bows and busting these heads. Bitch, you're relevant, steps on my wrist, it's best to back up, I think you bullet. I will have diamond come in the.
Yeah, that was it. That was it right there.
That's one.
That was it right there.
That's one.
I'm glad a lot of people got a lot of songs. People say grind mode, I'm so high. Waka Flocka had a space, he had a time. Oh, let's do it. Hey, listen, Waka Flocka had like them 3 songs, especially No Hands. When he dropped No Hands, that was just crazy. But that Ole Do It, hey, Ole Do It, hey man, that Waka Flocka was brain go kabow. Bow, that hurt so.
Soulja Boy didn't have all y'all out here.
That you crank that. This J. Hey, J Boone a freaking DJ. That ain't gonna let up. Come on, man. That thing's crazy. But people, I don't think nobody put the Louisiana the Juvenile jank. Back that ass up. When back that ass came, I mean, that was just like an
old song though.
That's fair.
Yes, it's an old song. But I mean, I guess they ain't got no problem with because it's old. But it is a older song. There's a lot of music that's come out. Man, it's so much music, man. It's a lot of songs to go. Look, I can keep going about songs I wish I heard for the first time again.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that was such a dope question. But I love that Jay. I think Ballin' was my Jay. Ballin', we lie, no lie, and you know
that's it. Jim Jones.
Ballin', hey, that Jake was it right there, no lie, and you know it. We stay fly all night, and you know it. Ballin'. Yeah, that Jake was dope. Ribbon in the sky.
He's showing his age. Showing his age a little bit.
Hey, wanna be a baller? Come on, Smash.
Shot caller.
Thong song, bro.
He going band songs on you now,
man. Thong song, bro.
He going band songs because he like the band when they play that New Orleans all-star band. That's why he going to New Orleans.
Now I know, Perry. I know you're not into the Drake and Kendrick beef.
You know, I did not like Drake when he first came out either.
I know you don't, but this quote by Joe Budden in the video that I'm about to play has been going crazy in Black Twitter. Here we go.
And it's mustard.
I see dead people.
I ain't know where he was going till I heard mustard. Oh, God. You better thank your fucking heavens up above that it is not HBCU season.
Oh, yeah.
You better thank God
100%.
that them bears.
No.
It's coming.
No, it's still happening.
Yeah, nigga.
It's still happening.
Oh, my God, brother. Yo, them niggas. Them niggas.
They gonna kill us. They gonna kill us. No, wait. That's the trombone.
What's up, here?
Are they laughing with us or at us?
No, they're laughing at Drake fans because they're saying Drake.
No, they beyond Drake and Kendrick. I don't know if they laughing at us or they laughing with us because the way they mocking HBCU and HBCU bands, that was some clown shit they just pulled off.
No, they're not. They're not making fun of the bands. What they're saying is Drake fans are lucky it's not Drake and Drake fans are lucky it's not football season because they would hear the song in all the bands and then playing.
I got all that. The message and the wording is what I heard. It's the action in which they portraying it. I'm like, are they? I don't know. Are
they not coordinated?
You want to make sure they not laughing at us. Like, damn, I don't want to be laughing with them and they making a joke out of us.
Lord have mercy. Only Pete. Only Perry. Only.
I gotta ask the question. That's worth asking, though. They just showed out right quick.
Oh, you got a fan. Maya said it seemed a little mockish.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, I can't be the only one for a second. I had to be like, hold on. I get what they said, but I had to be like, all right, if this is what it looks like to y'all, it must don't, that's what HBCU bands look like to them.
I mean, y'all do be marked. Y'all do be. I do that stuff. So Somebody said play it again. So. I see dead people.
I ain't know where he was going till I heard mustard. Oh, God. You better thank your fucking heavens up above that it is not HBCU season.
Oh, yeah.
You better thank God
100%.
that them bears.
No.
It's coming.
No, it's still happening.
Yeah, nigga.
It's still happening.
Oh, my God, brother. Yo, them niggas.
They're okay. I get what you're saying. But I think it's a bit of both. It's like they're laughing at him because he's not coordinated to do it. But at the same time, it's funny because the bands would be playing the song. So
I'm just asking questions, folks. I ain't said yay or nay. I'm just asking a question.
They gonna kill us. They gonna kill us. No, wait. That's the trombone. What is
I'll leave it be. I just want to ask. I just had to ask that one time. Could I?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hey.
I didn't say they were. And I just asked, were they laughing at us or with us? Because They left Drake and Kendrick Lamar and was mocking straight band. I don't know what band that was. You seen a band look like that before?
I mean, they all look like that to me, but you know,
Yeah.
especially the ones that be twirling their little. That's FAMU with their little capes. They be having they be doing them little capes with the quick feet. That junk is annoying. I hate that. One time for the one time. Psst, I see dead people.
Put it on that beat, go.
Aye. Mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak though. Man damn, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna.
Oh, I love that song. And I would have talked about it, but Perry he didn't listen to the beef, so he don't know nothing about it. Anyway, Kendrick winning. So anybody in the chat, I got Kendrick winning by a mile. That Not Like Us, I don't know how many times I've listened to that song. I probably listened to that song at least 100 times. No lie. Absolutely no lie. So I absolutely love it. Not Like
That
Us.
what you been making those social media skits?
Oh, listen. My wife couldn't record how many times I played that song. I'm being so serious. Like what y'all seen in the 3 days is not even comparison to how many times I actually played the song in the house. So I play it at least every day. I literally wake up and play it every day.
Yeah. So, I ain't been keeping up with the beef. I'll catch up with it later.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. All right, let's get into a little hot and viral. We're still in it. Listen, I think this is huge. Comcast NBC Universal is nearing a deal for the third NBA package, planning a basketball night in America. Telecast $2.5 billion annually, reports Sports Business Journal. TNT parent company Warner Brothers Discovery may need to raise its offer to $2.8 billion to retain its rights. Retain its rights. This could be the end of Inside the NBA. So if you don't know, that is no more Shaq, no more Ernie, no more Kenny and Charles. Perry, what you got to say, my guy?
Hey, like all dynasties, things come to an end, you know, and before Shaq, this thing been going on a long time. And I will say I have had the pleasure to meet, I met Kenny, I met Ernie, and I met Charles. So I had the pleasure to meet them a couple years ago when the NCAA Final Four National Championship was in New Orleans. I was at the game Kansas played. So what?
Your thing closed and came back up while you was
Yours did too. It wasn't just me.
That was just you.
Yeah, no, that was both of us.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet all three of those guys, man. And so all good guys, man. But hey, this is a world of business. And I know personally we grow to like things. It's just like personally we grow to like coaches, all types of things. But man, in due time, the ever-changing world of media is happening before our eyes. We're starting to watch new media outlets grow in front of us and take on sports that we never thought. Think about back in the day when TBS was showing us nothing but the Atlanta Braves, right?
Yeah.
WGN was all around America showing everybody the Cubs, right? You know, there comes a time and a place where things come to an end. There's been a great run. And I think, man, it's just hard to see the guys keep it real like that. Everybody else seems so watered down, but this, you love how authentic it is.
Yeah.
And you love to watch these guys go back and forth to each other, especially Shaq and Chuck. Man, that's priceless with Ernie right there trying to keep things together. So, you know, it was fun while it lasted, man. They'll forever have memes and sound bites that'll live forever on social media as well as YouTube.
Listen, I think I agree, Mr. Campbell. I believe they could possibly just to me, if I'm NBC, and first of all, I miss NBC. That's that old basketball is just, I just think it's just them. And I'm glad NBC is getting it back. But I really think if I'm smart, I'm not going to mess up a good thing. And I'm going to just try to bring them over to NBC and we'll do a version of it on NBC. Now, like Mr. Campbell said, I think Ernie said he's only rocking with TNT. So I don't think he would go with them. But
And you got producers that are different for networks.
That's fair.
You know, you got certain producers who will let you do things and ride with it because they cool. And you just got flat out assholes that want to do it their way. They don't care what flavor, with what style you bring. That's the difference between networks too. That's the difference between all of these media groups, where who is in charge and who will allow you to do, because some of these networks have a certain integrity that they want to stick by, and they don't care what it is. You know, we're not going to allow you to go there. You're going to have to stay in the pocket with it. So that matters too.
I think that's fair, but I think if you're NBC and why reinvent the wheel? You get what I'm saying? Like,
this happens all the time where you think it's simple and they flip it and you're like, why did they change it?
That's fair.
Television.
And listen, that's all possible. You're absolutely right. All those things are possible. If I'm NBC, I would do my best to try to keep this group together, because I know I'm going to get the viewers that I want, and I'm trying to get the value of my money as quickly as possible. You see what I'm saying? And to try to rebuild a new thing with new people trying to merge it all together, it could be a colossal failure, right? So, but
those producers, think about all the shenanigans, like when Chuck hits the guarantee button and they make all the producers matter. They run to the big board. Producers matter when they produce shows, and you got to have a guy who's lax and calm and who's funny with it and allow these things, because that's proper planning. You remember the year Kenny threw Shaq into the Christmas tree?
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. You know, it's just those types of things, and data personalities, but trust me, it all falls at the hands of whoever's going to be the producer. And you got to have a producer with a team of people that's willing to have that personality to match the characteristic and the personality of these guys. And sometimes you get in some of these places, you'll have a guy who's been around who's never been that fun type producer. He's kind of, let's get it, you know.
Let's do it by the book. Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you this. I haven't been in the media space for very long, but I'll tell you this. If I've paid $2.8 billion for something, I don't give a damn what my producer says. Listen, I don't want nothing. Nothing needs to change. They were successful over at TNT. Let's bring them. Let's hear their ideas and see what we can do to make it work on our platform on NBC. Because what we try and do is just take the eyeballs from one section right over to the next section, and let's keep this train rolling. But you're right. There's a producer there. With any job, right? There's anybody who feels like if they're in control, they're in control, and they want it to be done their way. So I think it's tough if TNT does lose it. But at the same time, I'm curious to see what NBC is willing to do with it and how they flip it and remix it. All right. Next up on a little bit of hot and viral. Antitrust lawsuit for NCAA. This is big. Probably going to talk about this a little bit further than usual on hot and viral. But here's a small snippet video from Pat McAfee talking about the antitrust lawsuit that's coming.
On the same exact wavelength here. SEC, Big Ten have come out now, and I think they're trying to figure out a CBA or get money for players and get a piece of the TV pie. What are you hearing about that, and how quickly do you think this kind of all has to happen for the good of the sport as a whole, Reese?
It's going to have to happen before they end up having to pay damages in that House case in which they're coming against all of the NCAA for past wages and past money and NIL that was held back. So I think they'll need to reach the agreement before that comes, and that's what the judge has asked them to do. I think that, you know, there are a lot of athletic directors. I've talked to some just in the last couple of days who are really concerned about the future and want to get this settled because they want to figure out how to budget things and whether how they're going to have to allocate the money. There's a lot of money. It'll be up to them to figure out how to do it, but how much will they have to allocate? So I think that within the next year or so, or at least before the time that this case would come before the judge for a ruling, I think the settlement would be helpful and kind of give us some parameters. And then, you know, you had this situation with UAB yesterday where their entire team sort of aligned themselves with someone to bargain collectively for them in the event that that becomes a reality.
Hey, I don't know how much you know.
Yeah, because I was trying to grasp, and you're gonna have to give me a little bit of synopsis on this.
So a quick synopsis, because it's super long. But the antitrust lawsuit is the NCAA versus House, and in the House, in the antitrust lawsuit, is that they want the NCAA to pay damages towards the players of what they could have potentially earned while being on the NCAA stipulations of no NIL, no earning of your pay. So
you talking about the past, all the players of the past.
$4 billion. It comes out to 2.9, but they're trying to round it up to like $4 billion. Right. So they're taking all the actions of all the time, but they're just trying to roll it up until now. So the situation is this: they want to settle the case, right? And in settling the case, they want the NCAA to have a salary cap that schools pay into, which I believe is $20 million. So each school in the Power Four would pay $20 million, and they would share the revenue with the players as well. And the players also get an opportunity to make NIL and outside deal money as well. So it's a full transformational setup that the NCAA is kind of getting their arm twisted to have to go into, because what they don't want to do is they don't want to go all the way through court and then end up paying $4 billion, which isn't really a lot of money for the NCAA, for being honest. But instead of doing that, they'd rather settle and then set up this new landscape for college football to where now schools are paying in $20 million. Schools are revenue sharing 20% of tickets, merchandise, and everything to all the players, and NIL and all that stuff is still alive and well.
How far back is this going?
That part I do not know, but it is like Cedric said, it's a settlement plus back pay reparations. So it's a lot. It's a lot, man. It is really, really a lot. So where the thing for me is where does that leave the group of five? Because now you're pushing, if you're not in the Power Four, everything is pretty much going to be considered FCS. Like everything is FCS from here on down. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just another hierarchy of football that you can't compete because you don't have the money to play in.
And it's just not football, right? This athletics.
Okay, the funny thing is they haven't figured out what it would look like for women, what it would look like for basketball, what it would look like for all the other sports. This particular topic is strictly on football for right now, but they're trying to figure out how it will be disseminated over all sports because of Title IX.
Because if we just talking football, I'm thinking the Reggie Bush, the Michael Vicks. You know, think about Peyton Manning at Tennessee. I
don't think it goes to the end. That's the crazy.
I'm just thinking about you saying reparations for guys. So you're gonna have certain guys who were the superstars before there was a social media to give them that extra boost. But we're talking about household names that before social media, magazines, newspapers, sports articles, plenty of guys made careers writing about these guys and had people paying to read what it was that they wrote about before it was social media, where I could make a post and get shared 100,000 times and get likes. So I don't know, man. This actually is mind blowing. It says, where does this leave the FCS? I think the FCS is left out, if you ask me, because it's like how much of, and it depends how far I go back, because we talk FCS. What does the Steve McNair look like with an NIL at Alcorn? And that's in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like seriously, what does the Steve McNair at Alcorn State looks like if he had the world that we have today with NIL? And think about it. It's Steve McNair, then there's nobody else on that team. Yes, he had teammates, but it's Steve McNair.
Yeah.
He finished for the Heisman at an FCS school.
Yeah.
right? I think about, let's go to Appalachian State. You remember a kid by the name of well, he's grown as hell now, Armani Edwards, when they went to Michigan
Yeah,
and they beat Michigan.
Yeah.
And then they ended up rolling the rest of the season and won an FCS national title. That was Armani Edwards. He was the quarterback. So I think about, there are certain guys on the FCS level that were superstars for their programs aside from the team. I don't know.
See, the thing is this. What's difficult about all these topics in conversation, in my personal opinion, is when you talk about Title IX just doesn't affect Power 4. It affects the Group of 5. It affects FCS. It affects all. So now is it like, so does that money just like I just, to me, it just doesn't make logical sense. To me, I feel like the Power 4 needs to break away and have a football like a football governing system. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can use the NCAA for basketball, but for football, you should break away and have your own governing for football, because the NCAA covers everybody. It didn't just cover the Power 4. That's my issue. So when you're making these widespread changes, how does it not affect everybody in some way or fashion? That's all I'm saying. Like, how does it not affect everybody?
The stipulations are going to have to, because then you have to go back and consider what is value. You know, I think at the end of the day, what is value? And you can always go back and see what the value was, because did a coach during that time get a raise? Did a coach get elevated and get another job because of whoever was playing? I think you can go back and kind of, but that's so much research, that's so much time, but you can kind of get some form of a handle on what that value was for that school, because you can see if that coach got a raise. You can see if that coach moved on to get a better job because of whoever was there. I think you can look at that and create a value from that, but precisely what that value is,
who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? And to me, what's really disheartening about the whole thing is the players that have built the NCAA, who have built college football, that were never able to get their worth or value while in college football. Like Terrell Pryor, right? Like, he would have made millions at Ohio State, even though his football career didn't do the same.
And he signed a couple autographs,
and it was over.
And they wiped out the season they won the Sugar Bowl.
It's
they
crazy.
Wiped that whole season out.
You see what I'm saying? It's the running back from Ohio State that did the lawsuit that, like, I can't remember. Maurice Claret, right? Like, all these players.
Oh man, he would have been think about that whole Miami, Willis McGahee.
All those the Andre Johnsons, the Sean Taylors, the Warren Sapp, the Jeremy Shockeys, like all these RG3 at Baylor. Tim Tebow probably would have took no money, but he would have. But he probably
Tebow would have took that damn money. Don't let that.
Yeah, right. So, Cam Newton, his 1 year at Auburn. Like, you talking about all these players, like they've all done. Most of them have all done well for themselves. But just imagine the amount of money.
Ricky Williams at Texas when he broke the rushing record.
Come on, man. Vince Young at Texas when he won him a national championship against USC. To me, that's one of the best college national championship games ever, in my personal opinion, right?
Yeah,
so
that the way he won, that has to be number one in my book as well.
Man, it just everything, right? So it's all of that. The Johnny Manziel, the money, because Johnny Manziel got paid, but he could have got paid. You know what I'm saying?
White in West Virginia. Noel Devine.
Ooh. Right?
How about what was his Denard Robinson, Shoelace at
Shoelace. I used to love
a whole phenomenon, because it was just, what kind of shoe deals he could have got just because of that.
He didn't wear, just because he didn't wear no laces. You know what I'm saying? It's all of that, and you really sit back and just say, like, wow. Like,
I think who would have been number one on this list, no doubt, hands down.
Reggie Bush.
Oh my God.
He would have changed the game. Period. Period. It would have been nobody would have come close to Reggie Bush and what he was doing at that time. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Vince Young and Reggie would have probably went hand in hand, but Reggie Bush in California, winning a national championship, doing it the way that he was doing it, Reggie Bush, hands down, would have been the. Oh my God, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. In California, in Southern California.
And my boy Michael Vick, man, look, that would have been crazy. They thought he got the millions at Atlanta. Hey, you would have gave him that money at Virginia Tech, and his brother Marcus.
Yeah,
he could have benefited because guess what? A lot of these guys, just like a Pat White and so many others, they didn't translate to get that next level at the NFL because guess what? They wanted them to transition to wide receiver and switch position. But a lot of these guys would have got their money right there in college.
Easily.
And we're talking football. We ain't even ventured into basketball, right? And into baseball and
JJ Redick, you know what I'm saying? The JJ Redicks of the world, the Zion Williamsons of the world, you know what I'm saying? The Kevin Durant when he was at Texas. Like it's a lot of stuff. Like, man, it just really makes you I feel for a lot of the stars of college football, like, man, like oh my God, the Fab Five, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the money that would,
oh my God. Oh my goodness.
They mad niggas was giving them shoes and jackets and chains. Imagine what the pockets would have been. The Fab Five is a perfect example.
Perfect.
I got one even better. Southern University, Ricky Weeks in baseball.
Yeah.
What NIL would he won the Heisman Trophy of baseball at Southern University.
Yeah.
You'll never see that at an HBCU again. Period.
Yeah. My thing is this: people are saying they were getting paid, and we all understand they're getting paid.
Yeah, but that was chump change compared to what they could have been getting.
What you could have been getting, like legit endorsement deals, legit NIL. See, all that stuff was on the table, and it's but okay, yeah, okay. If Zion Williamson was getting paid $1 million, or if Johnny Manziel was making $1 million, legally, he would have been in the 5 to 6 to 7 million. Shador is making $4 million, and he not even big time.
Every time you turn on sports, don't you see a Caitlin Clark commercial? Imagine them cats getting them commercials, and every time you turned on TV, you saw them.
You know what I'm saying? The Hoyer, Georgetown Hoyers, when they was doing the Hoyer paranoia, all that type of stuff, when the fandom of Georgetown Hoyer was crazy. Like, what I'm saying is this. If they're getting paid whatever they're getting paid, if you want to say Reggie Bush was getting paid $1 million, okay, cool. You got to 10x that. You got to 10x it because of just the legal money he would have been able to get, of the endorsements, the Gatorade, the whatever you want to name at that time, the Beats by, whatever you want to put it in, it would have been crazy. It would have been absolutely crazy. So, I'm just crazy, absolutely crazy. So it when you think about it, it's like, dang, like I really wish I could have seen it, but now it's this new era. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna really be like, if my son, I would love for my son to play at HBCU. I really would, right? Only a few, but I would like for him to play. But at the end of the day, if he had an opportunity to go play at Ohio State,
take your ass to Ohio State,
you are gone.
That pride is gone.
I don't care if you do 2 years at Ohio State and you sitting on the bench. Like, you're getting paid. You're getting paid just to be on the team.
Take the Manning kid, Arch Manning at Texas. He ain't got to touch the field. He just sitting back rolling in the money.
$2 million. Just because of his name.
I played in the spring game.
Listen, I'll say this. Because if we're being honest, Shador's making money off of Sanders' name. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's making money off this. Travis Hunter is a dog, right? But it I don't know, man. I don't know. It's whatever. But at the end of the day,
it's so many different ways, and it's so
crazy.
far to go back. And it's so many guys that were so impactful to the sport when we grew up, that were household names that they were legends. They was this urban legend myth, you know. Because, I mean, hell, how far do we got to go back? Do Bo Jackson need reparations? I mean, damn. Does Herschel Walker need reparations? You know, like, how far do we take this?
Ooh, he said Curry at Davidson. That would have been a whole thing.
Steph Curry? Come on, man.
That would have been a whole thing. That'd have been the whole thing. But this is just the way it's set. I love it for the players. I really do. But just the overall arcing aspect of college football, I'm really curious to see what Group of 5 and FCS really truly look like, because teams are making this jump to the Group of 5, but if you're in a secondary pot of money with the like HBCUs and FCS, are you really getting that? Are you really making the type of money that you think you're supposed to be making?
And the FCS and Group of 5 are going to be, because a lot of these teams that are Group of 5s now were FCS at that time. I mean, Group of 5, and it wasn't called Group of 5, but Conference USA, Sun Belt. I mean, those were laughable conference. The Mountain West Conference. You had one or two. Yeah, the MAC. Think about Ben Roethlisberger when he was at Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
Think about Byron Leftwich and the impact he had at Marshall. Like, these guys had me watching Marshall.
Yeah, Randy Moss at Marshall.
And had me watching Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois was the team one year. I think they went and played in the Orange Bowl. Again, so you had some teams who were prolific at that time. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you put that together and create wealth. I think you just kind of sum it up and give us such a small number and just say, hey, it is what it is. But you gotta keep in mind of the big time names, though. The names that you just could not turn a channel and not see. You couldn't pick up a sports magazine and could not see them. And number one on that list to me is Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush.
Just number one, just no doubt about it.
Yeah.
What Reggie Bush did for the game of college football, he was an absolute superstar. No hands down, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So, and he deserves a huge apology for the simple fact of they took his Heisman. I know they gave it back to him, but it was just showing the epitome of how the world viewed that. And Terrell Pryor deserves one.
Yeah. So to me, now let's go back. Do you reinstate all the Ohio State stuff? Because you got to. Because
you gave Reggie Bush his Heisman Trophy back. You might as well go back and look at what Terrell Pryor did and say, okay, I understand. Because clearly Reggie Bush accepted it. His folks was living on the damn cliff in Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
At a mansion.
They came and got it.
They was talking about Cam Newton. Cam Newton got in that interview. You can't tell me, Cam. I don't give a damn what he said. Cam Newton, y'all got some money. There was a bidding war between Mississippi State and Auburn. Auburn gave that money. You can say all you want that you didn't get the money. Johnny Manziel said, shit, we told them they could have gave the money. We didn't need it right then. Just give it to me when I leave.
Yep. And I'll be here 2 more years.
And he told you.
Yeah.
The whole time, man, look, this guy put me in a room to sign autographs. I thought it was a joke. Shit. I signed the autographs and he gave me X amount of thousands of dollars just to sign my name on some stuff. So anybody that ever said they ain't take no money, Nick Saban, that's who ought to be at the forefront to say how it really went. Because how many guys did he give money to that normally got money?
How many challengers he was handing out?
I'm right here in Baton Rouge, and especially when I got here and I was on the scene LSU, I used to kick it at LSU so much you would have thought I went to LSU because I was all around. Them cats, you know what they do? Sign them up. Somebody who owned a dealership part of Tiger Athletic Foundation. I own a dealership. 4 guys who I like on the team. I got them like they employees at the dealership. They come get a car. And they come pick up a check every 2 weeks because I got them on the payroll like they working.
Easy.
I can have it under because it look like you an employee. You ain't worked a damn. You ain't in here selling no cars. You ain't in here
selling no papers.
And I seen it. I talked to these folks. You just go pick up your check. You got your car and you going on. I don't know. This is crazy. It's so many different ways. $4 billion. I don't know. And then when you divide that $4 billion, who's check bigger than others?
And the funny thing, B, I think it goes to the schools.
Oh well, shit! You done really fucked up. Then you let them decide on who deserves what. because they've been, it used to be the idea I gave you a scholarship, you should be happy.
I think how I would do it is this: if the NCAA is if they go all the way through and they got to pay $4 billion, what I would do is this: I will put that in a player fund, right? I will put that $4 billion because listen, there is no college football without the players. So miss me with all this school stuff, okay? Get the $4 billion, put that money in a player fund, a player whatever, or how you want to do it, and then you go about, divvying it up however you want to divvy it up or whatever. But it definitely don't need to go to no schools. That's just my personal opinion. You don't need to go to no.
Because if you're gonna, I don't know, Scotty. This a head scratcher. This probably a little bit too much for me to think about at this point because it's just so many different ways to go. You got all these sports.
Yeah.
I mean, because even think about it at LSU with gymnastics.
That's huge.
Right?
That white girl winning. Okay. Whoever that little white girl is at LSU, she winning.
And they had the black chick not too long ago. I can't think of her name. But I mean, it goes so far.
Yeah.
Track and field. What's old girl that the superstar came from LSU? Shakara Richards, is that her name?
Yeah, LSU. Yeah.
She's a superstar. She deserves millions of dollars. So, man, look. Don't give it to them. Don't give it to the school, man. The school gonna do you any kind of way, But once again, it's just hard to decide who has the value. Because what's the time frame? How far back do we go?
Yeah.
Because $4 billion over how long of a time frame, considering how many athletes have come through college sports that you never heard of again, that was a true college athlete. And we all know 1% gonna make it to whatever professional sport. So it was so many people whose lives could have been dramatically changed by being able to benefit off their name, image, and likeness in college that ultimately they never had the shot or the opportunity to go to the next level. But
that would have made life-changing money. That would have made life-changing money. Now, how they spent that or how they would have divvied that up,
they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people left college, and although they got a degree, they went into the world. A coach got a job, got a promotion, got a raise, and they went into the world broke because they didn't get an opportunity at the next level, and they had to start from scratch with a job. And there's a lot of cats who, came from nothing
to something. Absolutely something. So
Maurice Claret went to jail. He did. He went to jail trying to go to the league early because he wanted to get to the money. Then ended up doing some crazy shit just because. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had he been able to get NIL, that probably never happened.
Probably never happens. Probably never, ever happens. But, oh, my goodness, man. That's just wild to me. All right. But here we go. Now, listen, P, we've talked about a lot of stuff on this channel, and we always talk about how the industry is changing. How the industry is changing. I want people to understand. Major League Baseball is like, listen, ain't nobody watching us. We just need to get whatever we can get when we can get it. These Bamas done signed a multi-year contract with Roku just to show the Sunday games, P. Just to show the Sunday games. You telling me, and I know y'all are like, Scotty, stop beating this dead horse, but I gotta beat it down. You telling me that Roku wouldn't take HBCU games? I'm asking you, P. They taking Sunday games of Major League Baseball. Ain't nobody watching baseball unless it's the playoffs. Ain't nobody watching baseball unless it's the playoffs. That's the only time I pop it on in October. You telling me Roku don't want no games? Come on now. What's your opinion, P?
I think we just gotta finally unplug our mind from just stopping thinking ESPN or nothing. We got our brains so stuck on ESPN that it has to be ESPN. that now, if you pay attention to the world that we continuously tell you, we've been talking about it for months. Hell, we've been talking about it since last year. We've been talking about it for a while, that there are opportunities out there. You got to shop yourself. You got to be able to put yourself out there and get an opportunity to listen and say everything. Because when you're talking about ESPN, we so stuck on ESPN, but you on ESPN Plus. I got to pay a streaming service, the ESPN streaming, to get you, but you're not even a premier game. They got you in 100 other games on there.
Facts.
So you have to be able to have an opportunity to shop yourself and know your worth. ESPN not the end all be all, but it's an easy scapegoat. It's an easy way to get in and get out. But there's plenty of people that can see a value within your sport, within your institution and your content.
Listen,
unplug from ESPN.
I love, this is the thing for me. I don't know how many games are in the HBCU season or whatever, you know, in the SWAC or whatever, you know, 12 times 11, however you want to 100 and something, whatever. But even if you just sold the classics, even if you just sold the major match, like the classic games, right? Because let me break this down for people, right? I really want y'all to understand this, because y'all be like, Scotty, you always talk about the same. I'm just telling you. No promoter owns the game. I'm going to say this again to y'all. I don't care what classic, the Bayou Classic, the State Fair Classic, the Labor Day Classic, the Boombox, the Southern Heritage, none of those classics are owned by the promoter. They own the name, but they do not own the teams. The teams have to agree to play. So what I'm telling you is this. If they're up for a renewal with that classic or whatever, and they put in the stipulation that, hey, this game needs to be broadcasted on Roku or wherever else for the conference, they have to, if they don't even want to be a part of the deal, the teams can say, hey, we don't want the game to be shown on that or whatever. The schools have the right to say no. That's all I'm saying, right? So my thing is this. Why do we keep banging our heads against a brick wall that shows us that they don't respect us? Why do we keep running and looking to a light-skinned commissioner like, oh my God, please save us, and he keeps putting you in a hole deeper and deeper and deeper in dumb stuff?
Because you got presidents and ADs who don't understand this world of evolution when we're talking about media rights, and all you got to do is sit in front of them and say a familiar name, ESPN. They like, well, you know what? Yeah. You got it. I mean, clearly what we've been seeing transpire at Florida A&M shows you the due diligence that does not occur. When it comes to decision making. And that was for a check and humiliation that occurred behind it. There's a lot of things that I think we will be humiliated by if it came to the light of how we do business without it going through a board first, because before ADs and presidents get together and agree on what we do as a conference, and then we give the SWAC commissioner a nod, yes, how many of us check back to a board to say, you know what, let's look at what we have in front of us. What does this deal sound like? Who do we have who have connections to be able, instead of just one singular person taking it upon himself to say, you know what, I like it. I told y'all to keep quiet. I didn't want to disrupt this deal because it had to happen. Absolutely. Because it sounds good. But you didn't refer to anybody to ask, what do you think for our best interests? And unfortunately, I think that happens when you look around the conference at our presidents. This is a realm that they clearly don't. You can have all the degrees, just like FAMU nuclear chemistry.
Yeah, nuclear chemist.
Chemist. You could be a PhD, but does that mean you understand broadcasting right?
Nope.
And because you saw how he made that deal and skipped all the process to even reach out to ask, hey, what y'all think about this?
Yeah.
It happens so often. That's why Dr. McClellan can go in there and talk that talk to them, and it sounds so good to where they like, you know what, you understand better than us, you got it. Instead of them coming together and say, you know what works best for us? It's the due diligence that you have to do as a conference and as a singular institution to realize what works best for me. Because I can sit back and tell you if I'm Southern, hey, I'm not Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
I'm not Texas Southern and Prairie View. I got a little bit more power when it comes to viewership than them. So why do I have to sit down and just agree for everything for everybody? I think that's why you saw Grambling and FAMU make the choices that they did early on, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a graphic going around on Twitter talking about how the NFL is broken down and it'll cost you like $800 for the season because of all the different games that you can catch NFL. I'm gonna try to find it so I can show people what it looks like. But here it is. Thank you, God. I found it. Here you go. So I'm gonna bring it up real quick. But this is. I'm not saying we're NFL value. I'm not saying that because everybody will be like, Scotty, that's the NFL. What I'm telling you is they're trying to monetize as much as possible of what they currently have. And we all know it's 32 teams. It's different. It's just different. But what I'm saying is the setup can be the same if you know how to approach it or you know how to package it right. So here we go.
We make a lot of people money. And then we be the first one saying what we don't have.
So here we go. It says it will potentially cost fans $850 to watch every game next season. $72.99 YouTube TV, I have that. Prime Video, I have that. $5.99 Peacock, I have that. $10.99 ESPN Plus and $6.99 Netflix. The total is $506, which is before the Sunday ticket, which costs $349. The cost is at least $855 per season. They have split the NFL up into micro games and they've sold it to different companies or broadcasting rights to different companies. Like Prime Video has the Thursday night games now. I'm telling you, it's not going to be too long until the Super Bowl is a pay-per-view. I'm telling you that right now. It's no way. I don't give a damn if you go from 200 million viewers to 150 million viewers. If all them ninjas paying money to watch, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
You know, the first thing they gonna tell us, like they did before, who gonna pay $20?
Come on,
to watch SWAC games. If you don't support it, then what? We're gonna keep going back to ESPN on ESPN Plus, getting that $10.99. You know that $10.99 profit. You know how many schools you sharing that with? You know why you only getting that little piece of the cut? But you got plenty of other people you can go to. Shop it around.
Shop it around.
We ain't got to put all our eggs in one basket, as they say. Check your value. And it don't hurt to try somewhere and start and then build up and show them. It don't hurt.
It don't. It does not. And, you know, Herb brought up a good point. Herb and Mr. Campbell both brought up a good point in the chat talking about NFL Network. Listen, me and y'all have talked about this numerous. The NFL Network is trying to get into the HBCU space. You see them getting rid of NFL Total Access. Listen, live sports is where the money's at. It just is. It just, everybody knows live events is where the money's at because it brings the most eyeballs. So if I'm getting rid of programming that has been quintessential to the NFL Network and I bring in HBCU fans and their eyeballs, that's a guaranteed check by the NFL Network. But ninjas don't want to see what it's about. But go ahead, P. I'm sorry.
Do we only go back to ESPN simply because of Tiffany Green and Jay Walker?
Lord, listen.
That's a real question. Like, is that why we simply do ESPN because of them too?
Listen, man. I love Tiffany. I love Tiffany. I do. Miss Green she A1 with me. But let me tell you this, the product that the NFL Network puts on for the HBCU legacy game blows anything ESPN does for us. The broadcasting, the views. Now, you can say, Scotty, it's only one game a year or whatever. Okay, cool. You know, it's one game a year, blah, blah, blah. So it's no different than what Tiffany and Jay do. What they do every week, P, they got that one game that they broadcast. I will take an NFL Network substitution for that one game any day of the week.
And NBC. Think about what NBC does for the Bayou Classic.
Great production.
Great production.
Great production.
The only other college team NBC really shows is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So we right there, and if you ever watch the Bayou Classic and that production, man, it shows the difference.
And then when you have guys like Bucky Brooks and all those guys who are draft, Daniel Jeremiah, when you have all those guys from the NFL Network who are draft scouts, and now they're bringing up these names in HBCU. Hey man, listen, there's a kid down at Grambling. There's a kid at Prairie View. There's a kid down in North Central. You start hearing those names a lot often. And then now people are just like, okay, let's check this out. I'm not saying Bama's going to get drafted and is going to turn everything around, but the more people are exposed to them, the more times you hear the name, the more you get from them, that exposure. In my personal opinion.
And with SEC moving over to ESPN and ESPN about to have all the rights, I would love to see a SWAC 230 CBS game. It's wide open for you.
Wide open. I
would love to see a SWAC 230 Saturday game on CBS. That's just me though. I'm just throwing things out there that I think. I mean, you got Balance, you got Fox, and then not to talk about all the streaming. But hell, you can do it yourself. We've been told you can even do it yourself and package it up.
Yeah.
What we call it, the HBCU TV
HBCU, I think it was like HBCU Sports Network, HBCU Network, HBCU.
Yeah, it was something like, man, listen, this is like beating a dead horse, man. It's so many different ways that we can do this thing, man. And we just keep falling for that old ESPN and that Thursday night, and then ESPN Plus. Prime gone, so you get that actual ESPN too, because they ain't ESPN, that's over with.
Yeah. And nobody, listen, I'm not saying
all
nothing.
You're going to get is the MEAC SWAC Challenge.
And the OBC.
Yeah. Are they still getting prime ESPN time?
Yeah, they got the ESPN 2 slot, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But they on a Sunday with no football.
Sure.
Or is it football there? But it's on a Sunday. I definitely know the game's on a Sunday. But listen, first of all, Thursday night games at HBCUs are just stupid.
We don't go to games on Thursday night.
It's stupid. That's not even. Let's just cut all Thursday night games out the way. It's dumb. It's not.
Nobody's watching. Well, they're gonna watch it, but nobody's gonna be in attendance for Valley and Alabama A&M
on a Thursday. Come on, what are we doing? Right? What are we just absolutely doing? It's just absolutely horrible. But at the end of the day, listen. I'm gonna keep telling you guys what it is until and y'all can say whatever you want. Until the alums put pressure on the presidents and the presidents put pressure on the commissioner,
Scotty,
it's not going to change. The ineptitude is full force. It's just full force.
You remember I told you the other day we was on the phone, I said I got a buddy, my boy Jeff. By the time we get off the phone and we have our HBCU talk, because y'all don't understand, me and my boys, we sit on the phone for hours. And we go over all of these schools. We talk about everything that's happening at all these schools. And we all from different HBCUs. And my boy Jeff always has this beacon of light. And he always ended, fellas, do y'all think it's ever going to change? And I got the same answer every time. I say, no, it's never going to change. It may evolve a little bit, but it's never going to change because we don't have enough people to want to be a part of the interaction of boards and presidents and ADs and holding people accountable. We don't have that interaction.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, after you see how things are going after so long, you throw your hands up and say, fuck it, I'll watch it from afar.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them have it and you move on about your business and you'll support whenever you feel deemed it's time, like when you show up at the Classic.
Yeah.
You show up at homecoming. Other than that, you don't give a damn about what they got going on in terms of operation, hires, whatever, anything going on in terms of structure. You just throw your hand. We got to come together and do more as a lumps. And I said that on my show this past weekend on the Jaguar Journal. You know, people were voicing their opinion about Roman Banks and Southern Athletics. My thing was, You are sitting back, and if you're not happy, we're allowing this to happen because ain't nobody get putting the pressure on administrators. And where's our alumni federation, right? Why aren't you talking to the alumni federation president and all the people on the alumni board and all of these different chapter presidents from around the country? Because guess what? If you get about 10 chapter presidents along with the alumni federation president and that board to start to say, man, look, I got 1,000 people in Dallas. I got 1,000 people in Houston. They all saying they not finna do nothing because of this. You start to turn heads. You make your power with numbers.
Yeah. And
people
dollars.
Don't care.
Numbers and dollars. That's what.
Numbers and dollars, but
Numbers
people
and
don't
dollars.
care.
Yeah.
We don't care about the things that really go into higher education when they run. Because I think we're not quite educated as a group of collective people to truly understand, because even when we in school, we really don't care. Right? How is it we got financial aid problems for 50 years? Probably longer than that, and we ain't never cared to say when enough is enough.
Yeah.
We just say, you know what? And I tell people, this new age student not in protest. They not going to be sitting in the dining hall or go to the administration building and sit. You'll have them do it. Howard did it, I think, a year or two ago. But for the vast masses, guess what? They're going to take their Pell Grant, they Parent Plus student loan, they scholarship, and they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that than to be worried about trying to get folks together to try to make changes. But we don't come together. And I think what you see happening at HBCUs is a direct reflection of what happens in our everyday community as Black folks. You don't hold your politicians accountable on why the street lights not working in your neighborhood and why your sidewalks aren't adequate and why your street lights, you don't have crosswalks, you don't have bike lanes. You don't hold your your school board accountable.
Facts.
For whoever represents you on why your schools in the urban city or in your neighborhood are looking the way that they do. But the white folks' schools they get new schools and can afford everything else. You don't hold people accountable. So it's a direct reflection to our HBCUs. And if we don't care about education in our everyday community, how the hell you think we really gonna care about it on the next level in higher ed? Man, have you seen Black high schools and the poor lack of attendance that these people have to go support these young folks? I officiate games.
Yeah.
I remember last year here in Baton Rouge, and regardless of how good the teams are or not, I did a Terra High School versus Bel Air. You know, the only people that was at the game was the band and the cheerleaders.
Wow, are you serious?
With no family there. It was the band and the cheerleaders. And I'm just speaking from that point, but there's a lot of community there where it's like that. Nobody's showing up to even support the kids. And that's a athletic event. We're not even going to go there to an academic event. You damn sure not going to that.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't even go to parent-teacher conferences.
I live in my kids' school. They get tired of seeing me. I ain't even
That's how you should be.
They get tired of seeing me. I don't play about my kids. Listen, but I agree with you because I went to BJ was coaching. He was coaching the team, and when I was staying in Atlanta, and I wanted to go support him. He was like, "Come out to the game." I said, "Okay, cool. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm coming to the game." Man, listen, them white kids, boy, they be out there, no shirt, painted on. I mean, the crowd was crazy. And listen, people can say whatever they want about certain spaces, but there's some things that you want your kid to experience, right? You want
support. Simple as that. You want them to experience support. This is what it's like when somebody truly supports you. It feels good, don't it? Turn around and they got signs and they yelling and they supporting you.
Yeah. It's crazy. And in the Black high school, I went to a game. It was Hebron. It was like Hebron versus McDonough, something like that. And it was like right down the street from me, McDonough High. Man, there was more people by the concession stands than in the actual seats. It was more people gaggling around the concessions, talking, chit-chatting, than actually in the stands, actually watching the game. And I'm like, really?
They more worried about who finna fight than they are around the concession stand because beef been going on all week, than to go in the stands and just sit down and watch the game or stand up and support the game.
It's crazy.
And this is a real conversation that we got to have about our community because we don't support our community the way that we supposed to. We do, and I talk about it all the time. I know people always talk about, well, when you see Southern, look at that side of town. Hell, I know where we at. I know what Scotlandville is.
Yeah.
It's a shell of like many communities. It was a once thriving African-American community. And then when you start to have where you can finally go on the other side of town and eat at their restaurants and shop at their stores,
you move.
We abandoned what we had. Yeah. And it just fell into dismay and decay. I talk about it all the time on whoever the hell is and I make sure I talk about it all the time on radio. Whoever's our state rep and anybody that's supposed to represent that area, where the hell are you?
Yeah.
And including administration of the school, you drive by this every day. Do you just ignore it? To not say, man, how do we build this up? We got a direct influence with the economic impact of our school. Go ahead.
And then you get mad when white developers come in and gentrify everything. And then get mad about how they came in, bought the land, and then changed everything up. He's like, man, I like that. I used to like that right there.
What, you like that building with that painting on the side that's falling in? Yeah, the paint look nice on the side of the building, but the building falling in. It's killing the property value around here. Pick up some trash. Oh, that's one thing my grandma in Chicago, she ride through certain hood, she's just like, the least they can do is pick up the trash and cut the grass. Two things.
Yeah.
Have pride, because you can tell when you're going through the black community, as soon as you switch over, they go to the Hispanic community, guess what? You tell a difference instantly. And I ain't even gonna bring up the white folk, but I'm just saying, with our people, come on, man, let's not act like we're oblivious. We see it, we just used to it, we numb to it.
Yeah.
We look at it and we don't complain about it. That's just who we are. You know, niggas, you know.
Yeah.
That's just what we say.
You're right. You're right.
And then we act like it's nothing. Then you sit around and wait on some white man that's gonna magically wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I care about you.
Here's $10 million. Here's $1 million.
Don't work that way.
Yeah. Gotta go get it yourself. And I'll say this. The thing that bothers me the most about HBCU alums, and listen, we could talk about underfunding in states and all that and being underfunded. It's the fact that I'm like, these schools were started in a time where you weren't supposed to thrive, where you weren't supposed to make it. Everything was against you at the time. Politics, policies, racism. I mean, it's still racism. We all understand that. But black people are in a better spot today than they were 40 to 50 years ago. And it's just amazing to me how our minds are still limited as if we're 40 or 50 years ago, where we have come and made strides to be where we're at now, but we won't take them and say, what else can we do with it? What else can we do with the opportunity? What else can we
create opportunity? Because if I'm from the hood, because I don't have opportunity, my family didn't have, am I supposed to be of the hood for the rest of my life? I can go read a book and start to learn some shit. And because I'm learning some shit, then I can fool around and get into extracurricular activities. I can learn an instrument in the band that can get me a scholarship to college. I can learn a sport and then that can ultimately get me or I can read a book and get an academic scholarship. Or I can just simply get myself prepared enough to where I can go get a job.
Yeah.
I can change who I am.
And my circumstance.
And your circumstance. If a rose does not grow, don't mean you take the seed. It means you change the environment. You don't change the rose. You put the rose in a more conducive environment in which it grows. And oftentimes a rose do grow from the concrete. We just got to do better as a community. And so when you look at HBCUs, it ain't no different than your everyday African-American community around the nation. They both hand in hand. We wouldn't be so underfunded. I promise you, we got all these black folks together who HBCU educated, and we all got together within whatever state we in, and we start writing letters to these state representatives and to the government. They'll be sick of us to the point they'll give us money. But we don't raise enough. We have a day at the Capitol. Okay, you got the band playing at the Capitol, and you got a couple hundred people standing out here, what you doing? Just showing school spirit? Ain't nothing more than a glorified pep rally.
Yeah.
What changes? Them white folks still sitting in there just like, yeah, they out there hooting and hollering, but they ain't saying nothing. You got to get folks together and create that change.
I'll say this, right? And I want to go back to Peasy says. He said, how long does it take to undo generational trauma and problems?
Ooh.
That's a great question, right? And my thing is this. If you look at how Black people have gone through generation to generation, it's still let me be very clear. It still takes someone to make a choice in wanting change, and how that change then affects somebody else. It might not, you might not make you might not be the next Martin Luther King. You might not be the next Malcolm X, right? But you might be the next person that brings change in your environment, in your whatever your fishbowl is. You could bring change to that. And to me, that's where people limit their mindset, right? So it's like, okay, for me, if I don't need to change the world, then just change my street. I can visually see my change to my street, or change to my business or my platform, and how it grows from there. Now, how it matriculates away from me is how it matriculates away from me, and how the impact of my one decision and change could affect somebody else to make their change and do something different, right? But at some point, you have to make a choice in wanting something different, right? It's no different than your parent wanting a different life. They make the change, then you see the change and like, hey, I can go a little further. And like Perry said, he showed the change for his son. Now his son says, I can go a little further.
It's those building blocks. It's a foundation and a stepping stone.
But it started with somebody. It started with Perry's mom taking him to UAPB in the HBCU game and says, hey, you can do this. You can change. It takes one. It can take a lot of people. It can take one person, but you have to change the mentality of, I want something different. I want change. And if we're bringing it all back home to HBCU, it takes somebody to lead a charge to say, we need something different. If it's for individual school, if it's for, the whole SWAC community or HBCUs or whatever, however you want to play it, it takes somebody saying, hey, we want to have a change. And then what people will like to do, what bothers me is they'll be like, oh, Scotty, but we've had the crack epidemic, and then we had the institution, jail institutionalism, and people. It's always going to be something.
Those were changes, and we accepted those.
It's always going to be something. Like it is. That's life. It's always going to be something. Like how you could have said the F word 20, 30 years ago, but now you got to be politically correct and say, gay. You can't say the F word no more. It's everything changes. Smoking in restaurants, now you can't. Something's going to change, right? Like now it's they, them pronouns and sexuals and trans. It's all, something is going to change, but it's been for everybody but our own. Everybody gets to do whatever they want to do but our own.
And the number one detrimental thing to us is the music. The music. That's our detriment as a community. That's what shapes the minds of young people. Until the day we decide to say, you know what, this does not represent us. It's the music. These kids educate themselves off of what they hear in songs and what they see in music videos.
That's fair.
It's simply that. That's what it is today. You go to a school and ask the kids, hey, name me 5 capitals of 5 different states. Or you can say, hey, let me hear you rap this NBA YoungBoy song. With the quickness and the most exciting way, they're going to rap that NBA YoungBoy song, and it's going to turn them up. But them 5 capitals, man, get out of here, man. Nobody want you to kill their whole spirit. We have lost what creates us as We have allowed others to formulate who we supposed to be through propaganda of what our community is. We enjoy talking about an op. We think everybody, we accept that talking about an op. Why does somebody got to be opposed? Why do we got to be against?
Yeah.
I don't hear no other community talking about some damn ops. We accept trashing our men and our women when it comes to relationships. We accept that.
Yeah.
We watch the shows that show that it's supposed to throw a drink on somebody and fight and get into it with them and smash somebody's wife and do all of this. We degrade our own self and accept it and say, well, that's our culture. Who says that's our culture?
Yeah.
They're mentally telling you that's your culture, but you don't know the difference. You just being trained to think that's how our culture is. Most rappers talk to you about shit ain't live what they talking about.
Yeah.
But guess what? You going out there doing drugs used to be crash dummy shit, you know. Drugs wasn't glorified. That wasn't no cool thing to do.
Yeah.
You can smoke some weed, yeah, but you talking about popping pills and Percocets and
you do it way too much. And that was a white person thing. That was a white thing. If we're being honest, like
but you had folks who did, but it wasn't glorious. It was just like, man, that's crackhead shit. To be a crackhead used to be looked down upon. Like, man, you want some crackhead shit? Like, bro, now everybody's zombied out.
Yeah.
Like it's the cool thing to do.
No, you're right. You're right.
To go to school, to be dumb, seem to be cool. And man, these kids can't read, bro. I'm talking about us.
Yeah.
Let's not act like we oblivious to this. I know some of y'all have put your kids in good schools and they got their living. But when you get around a vast majority of black folks and these young people, bro, these kids don't have no personalities.
They don't care. They don't care too.
Oh my God.
They do not care.
There used to be a time we cuss, man, fuck this shit. There's somebody coming, how you doing, Miss as soon as that man, fuck this shit, you go right back to doing it.
Yeah.
That was the respect that we had in the community. If it was nothing else, we wasn't no angels. But it was a respect we had. The respect in our community is gone. Even in the community of taking a village to raise a child and have other folks look out for you, man, you can't tell your neighbor these days you finna go anywhere. You used to be able to tell your neighbor, hey, man, we're going out of town for a week. You look after the house. Anybody coming there, y'all, hey, who is you? That I don't know you. Now you can't tell her they'll be in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a community that we've lost. And that's all I'm saying. That community that we lost within our everyday growing up community is the same community that we're losing when it comes to HBCUs. We're losing that same community of that pride, because you always hear them old heads, and I'm calling y'all old heads. They always talk about what that president was like when I was at school.
Yeah.
That president
what they did and how they looked
at us.
Yeah.
It was a pride, and it built them, and it was character building. It was morals and values. You weren't just a student. You came here to really learn, and they put something in you that you took off to be that diamond in the rough that was polishing out. Now they just treat it like a business. You just come to school and you go. I don't give a damn who the students are. I don't care really about you. Pay your tuition and shut up.
Yeah.
Them days of that community, we don't quite have that no more. And we're losing it. That's why you see the pride going down and the lack of accountability that we hold people accountable for.
But I think when you talk about community and Ryan Prentice, yeah, we're gonna get to the rankings. But the thing about it to me is this: is when you think about community, it's willing to help your neighbor, but a lot of things in the black community. I'm only gonna speak because people love to say, well, that's in everything. Well, I'm not speaking to everything because I haven't been around everyone, right, in their communities and how they see it. But when you're talking about black on black, it's like it's a pride to get it out the mud. It's a pride to have done it a hard way, where in certain I've been around a lot of Hispanics a lot of my life, and I'm telling you, the way that they look out for each other family wise, or it's amazing to me. Like, I've literally seen 10 people live in a house, and then 5 years later, each person have their own place. Like, they believe in community economics of how can we help each other reach where everybody wants to go, or goal or possibility. And I think in the black community, it's like, one, we don't want to do that, right? Whatever it takes to get to that next level, or if you need to partner with a couple people, or if you need to, help somebody get somewhere and go here or be a part of this family to make it work together. It's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna do it on my own.
We've been trained.
It's crazy to me, man.
That's that generational curse. We've been trained to be like that. We've been trained to go against each other. Crab in the bucket mentality. That is a trained thing. Slavery, think about it. You could be on a plantation. It's 10 white folks and 300 black folks, but 300 black folks scared of these 10 white folks. You know what? Because they didn't have to physically hold us down. They mentally held us down.
Yeah.
If you ever was to wake up and realize it's 300 of us and 10 of them, we may lose 20, but goddamn, we're going to take over.
We gonna get this. This is gonna be ours.
This is going to be ours. But guess what? And you talking about hundreds of years of that just being put into your head.
Yeah.
And think about how many black folks did other black folks in that wanted to rebel.
Yeah.
That wanted to run away and they snitched and they just think of how we've been doing each other by the way that they trained us. Now it's a dog-eat-dog world because we don't have the industry in our community, so it's survival of the fittest. That's just, it is what it is.
I think the worst thing though, man, I feel like it's so ingrained is if you want something done right, you feel like you got to go to somebody white. That to me alone is just like, oh, if I go to somebody white, it's going to be done right. Right? Like when I have to check myself doing it sometimes because I'll be like, man, so that's why I don't go to black people. But it's not black people, it's that person. Like if we want to be, it's you.
And didn't Kendrick Lamar and Drake show us even more light skin, dark skin? Who else in the music industry, regardless if it's whatever it is, are dissing each other and beating?
I think it's a little different. I think it's a little deeper. It's a little deeper.
But they was using that like light skin. Oh man, we lose light skin. We got to get together.
Oh yeah, the colorism. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we use that light skin and dark skin stuff. That hurts us amongst this than anything else. Because you'll treat a light-skinned person a lot different than you'll treat a dark skin. It happens in our families. It happens in everyday life. There's a lot of separation when we look at how we do our own self. And we so accustomed and used to it, you don't even think about it. You just do it. It's the same way when white folks know it's us and them. Is that privilege. It just kicks in. They don't know. They just do it.
Yeah.
That's what we do to each other.
That's fair. It just kicks in.
We walk down the block and instead of saying, hey, brother, how you doing? You be like, what the hell they looking at?
Or why they say hi to me?
Why they looking at me like that? They don't know me. Why we into it with each other? We are our own people.
Listen, let me tell you this story and then we're going to move on. This is just shows you how different white people are, right? My daughter got in trouble at school today. So I'm working her out. Like, I try not to whoop my kids. I make them do workouts, right? So we got like a little pond and it's a hill, like a little hill. So she bear walking the hill, right? Up and down, bear walking. This white lady seeing us, she just walks out, right? She's like, hey, I'm like, hey, my daughter's coming up the hill. The white lady bends down. Hey, how are you? Are you a turtle? I'm looking at her like, why are you here? Like, I'm like, what are you doing here? I said, no, she got in trouble in school. She's working out. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm like, yeah, you know, I live right here. I'm like, ma'am, but it's just like,
that's when you just got to be blunt. Hey, move the fuck on. We doing let me finish you got to be blunt with folks. That's why I don't like to be out too much, because when I see I was at the airport, I saw this woman talking to her kids. She started pleading with the kid. Hey, just come on over here. Hey, just have to sit. And the kid just like, you know what? I don't give a damn what you saying. And I'm looking at the motherfucking kid. I'm just like, boy, I swore woo, let me go get up and go walk somewhere, because this right here just irks my soul to watch a kid do an adult. Like, who the hell is... Sometimes you got to whoop a kid's ass because that disrespect. I know everybody don't believe in whoopings. Listen, I turned out all right. All right. But it's just sometimes you just got to let a kid know, because what they don't think you going to do it. Sometimes it take one ass whooping. Like my son, probably whooped him maybe 2 or 3 times in life.
Oh wow.
Right? But my son is he a sweet dude, man.
Yeah.
He a good dude, man. He really is, man. And he just got a good spirit about himself. So that just let me know that's the love. And see, we got love. So kids are how you raise them. You raise them in the environment with love and show them certain things, and you culture them. You can cultivate a kid to be a certain type of way. If you playing all that angry ass music and all they hear is you cussing and fussing and getting into it with people and talking about fighting and whatever else, hey, that begins to play a part.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, man, you know, when I did with my son, I always told him after the fact, I always had conversations. And then when it got to a point to where if I said something, I had to look again. Hey, it's simple, brother. You got 2 choices. Go ahead and do what I asked you to do, or you can get your ass whooped. You don't forget that ass whooping. Listen, let me go do what I got to do. But that's a part of me, because I think a lot of us as a community, we don't talk to our kids. We don't teach to train them. We don't build them up. We do a lot of tearing down. Sit your ass down. Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing else. But you're not telling them why you need them. You got to explain things and talk to kids and build them up and give them understanding, because if not, they just think you yelling. So what they gonna do? Just grow up and yell and cuss too.
Yeah. So for me, my mom has always taught me logically why things are happening to me. Right. So both of my kids are not having birthday parties because they've been doing bad in school, right? So my son didn't have a birthday party, and my daughter, she has now lost her birthday party privileges, right? But it's not
what she lost.
Her birthday party privileges.
Oh shit!
It ain't no birthday party. It's happy birthday, and we moving on, right? So, but the thing is, this is how we break it down to them, and I say, hey, why are you not having a birthday party? Because I didn't do what I was supposed to do in school. Whose actions, whose fault is that? It's mine. Like, I need you to understand actions and consequences. When you choose to do the actions that you do at school, there will be consequences when you come home. So understandably, when you want to go do this or do that, understand why you're not doing it, because it is your fault because of your actions. It ain't nobody. Don't blame dad. Don't blame Miss Akila. Don't blame Jesus. Don't blame it. It is your fault, right? So I need you to understand that. So anything that happens to you in this house, because I have to be a man of my word. I tell my kids all the time, if you tell me the truth, I don't whoop you. I don't care what it is. If you tell me the truth, I'm not going to whoop you. You'll get a consequence, but it will never be to the extent of you lying to me, because I'm going to whoop you and you're going to get a consequence and whatever else I decide to do behind that, right? So it's the little, like you said, it's the little things that you're teaching, right? That I need you to understand, because at the end of the day, when I ask you why you're not having a birthday party, it's because I didn't do exactly. And I'm very simple. You go to school, you follow instructions, we good, right? I'm gonna tell you, I had to go to. I'm so sorry, guys. We're gonna get to the rankings.
No, we talking about life.
Yeah. So my daughter has a counselor, right? Because she's not making friends, and it's an all-white school, so it's a little different. But she's never had a problem with making friends, but in this school she has. So she has a counselor. So her teacher, a week ago, her teacher told her counselor, can you talk to Eris about what she talks about? My daughter's very vocal. She's just like me, very vocal. So the teacher's like, my daughter's like, is that a wig? Are you wearing a wig? And the teacher took it offensively, and she's like, no, I'm not wearing a wig. And she told the counselor kind of, I said, listen. So the counselor told me the story, like, hey, your daughter is like, your daughter just is saying some things that aren't appropriate. I said, she's black. She's around black women. She's seen wigs. That is a legit question. Is that a wig? Like, logically, it makes sense. It don't matter if you agree with it or not. It's a logical question. Is that a wig? If it's not, say it's not. This is how I'm talking to the counselor. I'm talking to the counselor just like that. So that's my that's my daughter. That my daughter is like me and her grandmother. We're just upfront people, right? So
that's old school. What the folks you say, but there's a time and a place for everything.
It is, but it's still a reasonable question.
You asking, is that a wig in front of the class, or is that just something to the side? Like,
I think she was walking in the hallway and asked the lady, like, "Hey, is that a wig?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I think she said, "Hey, is that a wig? I like your hair." I'm sorry. She said, "I like your hair. Is that a wig?" That's what she said, right? So she got offended, right? But I'm looking at it like it's logical. Like if she's asking you a logical question, you know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that.
That was a white teacher? It
was a white teacher.
See, you know, the way white folks work, when you walk into a room, they want you to adjust to them. They'll never adjust to you. You got to make them comfortable. They don't give a damn about making you comfortable.
Facts.
That's, you know, they gonna make sure you feel that energy from them. Like, hey, you know you a nigga sitting over there like, yeah, we want you to know it's some white energy up in here. You know, and we not gonna change, but let the white person come in a room full of black folks. Don't black folks try to cater real quick? Am I lying?
It's true. Listen,
try to make them comfortable. Like, hey, you know, tone it down a little bit. Turn the music down. They don't turn that music down.
This is how I do it. I let Keys start any conversation that we have with white people when it comes to the kids, because 9 times out of 10, I'm ready to go off. I just am.
The angry black man.
I'm the angry black man, and I'll happily be that stereotype because I do not play when it comes to my kids. It's as hard as I get on them about how they treat people, is just as hard as I get on any teacher. So any conversation with a teacher that I know I'm gonna get mad, Key always starts the conversation off, "Hey, hi, we're here to talk about." Key, listen, Key got that white stuff down, okay? She gonna hit you with all the white, the soft tone. That she is not the angry black woman. She gonna, now when Key turn up, it's something different, but usually she gonna hit you with all the mild mannered, all the soft talk and all that. If I interject, it's a wrap. I'm just telling you that off the rip. I'm not playing no games. I'm like Spades. I'm cutting Bama's heads off.
What you cutting? You cutting what?
I'm cutting niggas' heads off.
Because you don't want nobody to play with you.
Don't play with me.
You know what to expect from me. And next time you call me, you know what to expect from me. See, I came in here nice last time. Y'all just thought, oh, Mr. White, he's just a, you know, play with me again.
Play with me again. Play with me again. So I was boy, I'm telling you, we had a conversation with the teachers. I was 38 hot. And they were like, Mr. Scott, I said, no, you don't get it. You don't. But
They don't, because they want you to understand their culture. They not trying to give a damn about you being black in your culture. But the culture that they think of us is the propaganda that I say is constantly hurting our community anyway. Mm-hmm. When they turn on TV and they see what's acceptable by what's being portrayed as us, that's what they thinking.
Well, that's fair.
They think we all the same.
That's fair.
We not. Like you say, you ain't have no roaches at your house.
Ain't never seen it. I saw some ants. Boy, listen, them sugar ants. Oh, Jesus Christ, boy.
Oh, you gotta get rid of them instantly.
Dog, they have a line going up your whole wall.
It just take one to figure out something sweet somewhere. You go back and tell that's the hood. Go, hey, y'all bring y'all ass up in this kitchen. I found it.
Boy, he loves some Dunkin' Donuts, boy. Listen, I'm telling you, them sugar ants, they are not to play.
You gotta bleach stuff down. You gotta vacuum the sweet.
Yeah.
You gotta mop. You gotta clean your house, man.
Yeah, that's facts. And listen, he said Scotty and Miss Script remind me of my sister and brother. Like, listen, Key would tell anybody, white, black, Hispanic, you want to deal with me before you deal with Scott. Like, have the conversation with me, because what Key does very well is she takes the information and she regurgitates it to where I can understand it and I don't get upset. She will say, hey, I dealt with this. We worked this out. Whoop-de-whoop. All right. If I get it direct, it ain't no filter. You about to get all this. You about to get all this.
And I can't help it because I come from a line of that. My mom, man, she go hard. When I was younger, she used to be so hard. Hey, I would just be like, "Oh my God, my
my mom. Yeah,
you're embarrassing me." Now
Yeah.
they got older. Hey, I ain't got time. Don't play with me.
Yeah, I used to listen. Let me tell you what I used to do in class. They used to be like, Mr. Scott. I'm like, listen, if I call my mom up here, it's gonna be a problem. Because I just tell them straight up. I'm like, if my mom come to school, and listen, if I'm in the right and I call my mom up to the school, she's shutting this whole joker down. And it's not listen, my mom don't cuss. She do not cuss. She don't do none of that cuss. My mom can make you feel so small, and she would never cuss at you once. The only cuss word my mom says is Scheiße, and it's in German. I promise you. It's the only cuss word my mom says. But she will break you down so fast. It will blow your mind. So, but for me, yeah, listen, I'm not gonna cuss at you because I feel like that's inappropriate. But you gonna feel me. You gonna
a family of cuss words, like I'm talking about, and know how to use them very well. Can articulate a cuss word to the best of their ability, and But at the end of the day, and like you said, what was somebody was saying about Black fathers? We need more of that in our community. More than that. Like, I end that with this conversation. Black men, be a part of these kids' lives, because that's really what's wrong with these kids. That's that structure, that masculine energy that they lacking, and they don't know how to express it. They think everything got to be hard and tough because that's what the music telling them.
Facts.
They can't have that soft, that expression. Nobody saying you got to be soft, but you can be a human. Express yourself. But folks don't want to. And for a lot of folks, a lot of people need counseling. It's a lot of people need counseling. It's a lot of traumas that's being carried on and pushed on to the next generation, and so many issues that. And think about all the family issues that people have that don't even know why they have it, but it was just your auntie and your grandma put that on you, and you don't even know why you don't talk to the other side of the family. That's their issues, and you never knew it. You just like, what the hell, they ain't talk to them. So
I ain't gonna talk to them.
Yeah,
it'd be like that.
Just pass that anger on to the next generation and continue to pull our families apart, pull our communities apart. We need more Black males, though. We need fathers. We need Black males. We need role models for our young Black men, because them some angry brothers, man. You been inside of a high school or a junior high, man. It's some angry, and I'm talking about at a Black school. It's some angry young brothers, man. And this generation, hey, they make you nervous because, like you say, they don't care. This generation of Black folks is white folks' worst nightmare. You know why? Because they ain't scared of no white folks. They ain't scared of nothing. That's why white folks like, hey, we got to corral them. If anything, put them against each other. Because if the day they ever came together and realized,
it's a problem.
That's a problem. This generation ain't scared of nothing. Period. Nothing. And they like, who gonna hit me? Who gonna do it to me?
You sound like that Bama from Remember the Titans. You think that's something, y'all? That ain't nothing, y'all. That ain't nothing. That's what you sound like.
Man, listen. These kids scare me because look, they'll jump off on your ass real quick. They don't have no filter. They don't have no mindset. They gonna think after the fact. And sometimes it's too late. I stay out these young folks' way, but we need more males, man, Black men to be able to be in the lives of these young Black men, bro. They got so much anger and hostility in them, and everything got to be aggressive, and it's just like, damn, bro.
We can go back. I mean, we can keep this conversation going, but it's the music. I mean, a lot of it is the music. Don't get me wrong. I grew up on 50 Cent, DMX. I'm about to say Drew Hill. DMX.
You grew up on Drew Hill too?
Oh, Beauty. Oh, I love Beauty. Beauty was her name. That's my jam. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Yeah, that's my jam. Stop playing with me. All right, let's get into this. I know you Bamas is getting way late. I know a lot of you Bamas got to get up and work from morning. All right, let's get to these way too early SWAC and MEAC power rankings. Football.
How you playing this?
It's football season, so.
I'm standing on business.
Well, thank you for playing the Southern song, being the international song for all HBCU.
Well, the international song for this season is going to be
Pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Hey. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogie man, I'm the one that put the skull with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1.
That's the problem with us, the music.
In love.
That's the problem with us right there.
That's my problem too.
Make sure you hide your little sister phone. Only Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy? Certified pedophile. Wop, 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 wop. God, fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. Coming through my stuff. Why you trolling a little bit? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor.
Let's get into it. Power rankings, way too early. Swagging me at power rankings. Let's get to it. First up, Miak.
Niggas put me on a what's that from the Boston Tea Party, ain't it? A barrel of what's in that barrel? You got me.
A barrel of whiskey?
I like whiskey. I drink whiskey, so that's all right.
All right, B. All right, B.
Damn pirate up in there.
Go through your top 5 and how you got to them.
I don't even know how I got to these because I'm going to tell y'all. I don't even know. But what I will say, I'm going to go with South Carolina State at number 5. I think Chennis Berry taking over for Buddy Q. I don't think it's going to be an immediate impact, but I like Chennis Berry and the way he builds his team. I think you're going to start to see them get better in due time. So right now, I'm going to put them right there. Trey Oliver at the 4th spot. I like Trey Oliver, North Carolina Central. I think with them losing Davius Richards, I think that's going to be big for them. He was the offense, right? And what was the running back? Collier?
Yeah, Mookie.
Yeah. I think when you lose that much offensive firepower, you have to rebuild that. And it's going to probably take a transfer portal or some guy who's going to have to learn through experience. But I like Trey Oliver. I think you'll be able to see him and his team still compete for it. I'm gonna go with Howard. Howard just continuously surprised me, and you were on them last year.
I was.
Yeah.
I was
seeing them make it to the Celebration Bowl. They have something to build off of from last year into this year. Even though they lost their quarterback and their running back, but I'll put Howard at that 3 spot. Plus, Howard beat North Carolina Central last year. My boy Dawson Odoms, Norfolk State. I'm gonna go with Norfolk because hey, I know everybody give me a lot of flack, but they were a young team last year and they lost about 6 games by 7 points or less.
How many games they lose?
They lost some games last year.
No, that's not what you said. How many games did they lose, Perry?
Go back and watch the show.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, they lost games. I mean,
he said 6 of them. Mr. Dark Horse, Mr. Dark Horse.
I mean, for real, see, I'm catching flag, but they were right. It wasn't right there. So that gives me hope to look at when you see teams to be able to have something to grow and build from. I can't help but figure that they can build from it. And then I'm gonna go with Morgan State. I think Morgan State is a team defensively that can get it done, and they were right there amongst these teams as well. Morgan State, if they can just find an ounce of offense, Morgan State. Can you get an ounce? Because even special teams for Morgan State was somewhat solid.
Yeah.
Special teams and defense, if they can get an ounce of offense, Morgan State, I think, could be a team to really look out for. What's your coach that came over from Bowie?
Antoine Sewell, and the head coach is...
No, it's not Damon.
Damon Wilson.
I think he's building something. He's a proven guy. I watched him when he was at Bowie State and what he built there. So I'm going to put them right there at that top spot. But, hey, I'm going to still stick to it. I think what I saw with Norfolk last year, being right there on the cusp, if there's going to be a time. Now, if Dawson don't get it done this year, but I think with that being stop laughing at me, brother. I'm talking. But they were a young team, man. So I have to roll with them. Hey, look, I don't give a damn how much knowledge you think you have. The MEAC, you don't know who the hell gonna win and who the hell.
Because it really comes down to 5 games, and like you say, it was in November, October. The season started in October.
Halloween, goddamn it. You know, we can break these down and go around all around town because everybody thought North Carolina Central was headed to the Celebration Bowl last year. Would you have ever thought Howard was going to be in the Celebration Bowl?
Say again.
Would you have ever thought Howard was going to be in the Celebration?
Did I could have sworn I picked them. You real quiet.
I don't think you picked them to go to Celebration Bowl, but I think you
I moved them up. I moved them up to number one. I was the only one that moved them up to a number one spot on this show. Yeah. I was the only one that moved them up to a number one spot. Let's continue. My number 5 team, which I have no faith in, is losing another 6 games. Let's just be very clear about that. You got them at number 2. I got them at number 5. NCCU, listen, I think we both see them the same way. Losing Davius Richards was huge. And Josh running around here talking about they done got the next thing of the white great hope or something like that. Oh, we got this great quarter. I'll believe it when I see it. And I saw that Bama play one game and he looked shook. Okay? So you and your sunshine, let's see if it work out for you. South Carolina State, listen. I'm very optimistic. And the reason I even had them I really wanted to put them at number 2, right? I really wanted to put them at number 2. And the reason is because they got their quarterback that was at Benedict to come back to South Carolina State. He went to Murray State, transferred, came back to South Carolina State. And we all know quarterback play in HBCU football is the most important part of this whole thing. So I think having a guy you can trust, having a guy you know knows the system, I think that really helps them. I got them at number 3. And listen, they were a talented bunch. You know what I'm saying? They were a talented bunch. You just got to put it together. Howard, listen, I'm going to say this. Losing Quentin Williams is not the worst thing in the world. Newsflash, okay? Newsflash. It's not the worst thing in the world. But they did have a solid team built around them. They did lose a lot of pieces. The running back core, they still got Edgerrin Jameson back there. I think I don't know if it was Ian Wheeler or one of the other guys that left, but they still got a pretty solid running back room. You add on to that. Defensive wise, they're good. Quarterback play is going to be skeptical for them. And listen, Morgan State they're the Steelers of the MEAC, okay? You know they're going to have a defense. Quarterback, God knows who, okay? I mean, Jesus, if you could just find somebody to throw the ball.
Anybody.
I mean, lottie-dottie, anybody. Just throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could come out with the win. But I'm hopeful. But listen, Delaware State is so irrelevant.
This top 5 people, this wasn't naming all this top 5, and obviously it's only 6 teams. So where
else Delaware State gonna be? Okay, underneath the bus for me. First of all, I'll tell you straight up, I ain't like to hire at the coach in the first place. That Bama was trash. So Delaware State is the definition of in purgatory. Okay, don't do that. Listen, where Delaware State at? You know where they at, underneath the bus. All right. So one last time before we get up out of here. Bet you they won't be number 2.
I'm rocking with you, Odom.
I'll go first since you went first for the MEAC. My swag top, way too early top 5 rankings. Listen, number 5, and I know a lot of you Bamas are like, how, what? Listen, I like what Mickey Joseph is low-key doing at Grambling. Okay, he's building inside out. You lost a lot of talent in the running back room. You did. You lost 2 bona fide dogs at running back. You still got a solid quarterback back there. They brought in some other quarterbacks to compete. The only thing that scares me is Eric Dooley. That is the only thing in this. If Eric Dooley was not a part of the equation, I would feel a lot better about them being number 5. But he is, so that's why they're number 5. But I do think Grambling's going to be a lot better. They weren't too far off last year. They had some hiccups on defense, but just scheme setup. I don't think you're going to have that problem with Jason Rollins. He was pretty good at Southern when he was a defensive coordinator there. It's just that Dooley aspect. I don't know. Prairie View, listen, I like the new OC. All right. Whedon, I like the guy. I think he, quarterback wise, I don't know if they got it right now, but Prairie View is like the definition of just doing the basic and winning, right? They're just the most basic ass team, and they win. And it just is what it is. They don't do nothing special, ain't nothing exotic. But I think if they can find a quarterback, I think you'll see a little bit more juice out of that Prairie View offense. Defensively, their defense for dummies. It's a really simple defense, and anybody can really fit in. You just got to find the right pieces. All right, Paho State, number 3. It's them. I mean, they're there. I mean, they got a returning quarterback, so it is what it is. Yeah. Alabama State. Come on, you already know why. Do I need to say it? I'm gonna say it. Andrew Body. Very simple. Andrew Body, baby. Andrew Body. And that defense, the Alabama State defense, they did lose Mikey Victor. They did lose Bubba in the middle. Got some guys coming in to replace that, but Andrew Body is going to be the straw that stirs this drink. And offensively, they need to look better and more explosive. And then last but not least, I gotta go with the Celebration Bowl champions. You are the champions until you're not anymore. FAMU is my number 1 pick. Alcorn, let me tell you this. I know Alcorn is returning a lot defensively. I am not a fan of Mako, Draco, Laco. That Bama, that Bama is Stevie Wonder with a little bit of eyesight. He missed everything. He can run, but he misses a lot of stuff. So they don't have Jarvion. The quarterback is a little skeptical, it's a little sketchy, right? Least Grambling has somebody that I know can play the position at a high level, so that's why they sneaked over Alcorn for me. Just wanna make sure I make that very clear. All right, go ahead, Prairie.
I would go with Prairie View at number 5. I know they're the defending SWAC West Division champs, but I think when you lose, at least who helped them out at quarterback was Trayvon Conley. He wasn't pretty all the time. It wasn't the best, but then you lose your offensive coordinator and Mark Frederick. I want to see what this new offensive coordinator do for them. What switches it up? I know what Prairie View can do. When it's time to run the ball, they can run the ball. I think the only thing that's going to hurt them, can they pass the ball? And I don't know what they're going to have at quarterback this year. So I'm going to put Prairie View at number 5. I still think Prairie View is competitive. They get it done. Whether it's pretty or it's ugly, they find a way to get victory. I'm going to go Southern number 4. I think when you look back at Southern last year, everybody has to point the finger at Eric Dooley. I don't think Southern was in a position when you look at that loss at Alcorn State, you look at the loss against Prairie View, and then you look at those early losses in the season to Alabama State and Jackson. I think Southern showed you nobody in the conference was just truly outright better than them except that bad loss at Alcorn State. But for me, Southern was a team right there in the mix. And even pushed FAMU to the edge towards that game here in Baton Rouge. So I think Southern returning the talent that they have. I'm going to have to go with Southern at number 4. I don't think Southern in terms of talent is too far off. It's just, can they get the coaching? But the talent is there enough for them to finesse their way, at least through the SWAC. FAMU, number 3. I think FAMU, just considering HBCU national champions from last year, they still have to prove some things to me with this new coach. They lost some guys in terms of on the coaching staff, but I think just like Southern, I'm going to look at them with talent-wise. Being in Florida, they are a type of team just like Southern. I'm going to say they get enough talent to where they can finesse their way, whether it's the coaching or not. They still can finesse their way through the vast majority of the SWAC, just off of talent alone. I'm going to go Jackson State at number 2. I think Jackson under TC Taylor in year 2, I like to see where they at. I think they have some things to build off of them with Mulligan coming back at running back. And I think with the core building off of a defense, that offense, I like that quarterback last year. What was the young man name?
Jacobian.
I like him. I think now you got something to build off of. And when you look at Jackson State, I think they're a team that can build off of that. And let me go back to Well, my guy said they're gonna be the first swag team to be a Sun Belt team when they go over to ULM. So I want to see it, Zo. I'm riding off for you, Zo, with this number 2 pick, and then I'm gonna go. And look, y'all, it's way too early. You can take this serious all you want. I don't give a damn. I mean, you can laugh at it. We don't know, but it's just how I feel. And I'm gonna go Alabama State number 1. I mean, when you look at Alabama State last year, who was in that way? Florida A&M. Right? They lost that last game against Prairie View, but other than that, they beat Jackson State, they beat Alabama A&M, they beat Bethune-Cookman, they beat Valley. The only team in their way over in the East was Florida A&M. I think now you add in Andrew Body, who was probably the best quarterback returning from last year. You put him on there. I know one thing about Bama State, they're going to always have a solid defense. Now you be able to add in Andrew Body offensively. I think they're the team to beat. And we're going to find out early in that Orange Blossom Classic, but it's way too early, y'all. So don't take it serious. I know everybody goddamn Lee Corso in the comment section. Everybody want to say, you don't know, you don't. Well, guess what? You don't know either. So let me that's how I feel. And trust me, everybody's going to be different, but this is my top 5 for now. I just think when you go by the chatter, I got to put Alabama State. I mean, they literally outside of FAMU in the East was away. Southern.
This is okay. You got it. Okay. I know Grambling lost to Southern in the Bayou Classic. I know that. So I can get why somebody can say Grambling, but Southern at 4. Like if you said Southern at 5, I can rock. I can maybe rock with you.
We weren't too far off last year. I mean, when you look at those games that lost,
you weren't too far off.
You lost to Jackson State because you allowed the game to get away from you, Dooley. You lost to Bama State because guess what? Offensive play calling. You lost to Prairie View because guess what? Offensive play calling. You lost to FAMU, but nobody. It was like was put up a lot of these other teams against teams that they played. They wasn't in games. At least Southern, and I know everybody wanted because I'm a Southern guy, so y'all want an explanation. But Southern talent-wise is not far off. Let's just be honest. Talent-wise, Southern is not far off. And in this conference, if you got enough talent, you can finesse your way along the way. Now, when it comes down to clutch and being able to get it done, that's what Terrence Graves and his staff is going to have to sell me on. But I know Southern's defense with Coach Miller for sure will keep Southern in some games. It's going to be the offensive side of the ball. And if Southern can get some offense like we talked about with Morgan State, Southern is going to be a team because they have the talent that can be able to get there.
And where is this?
Stay at number 4 though.
Okay, hold on, Perry. Where's this talent that you're speaking of? That's all I'm trying to understand because.
So Southern was not a talented team to you last year?
I didn't think so.
Okay, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah. I didn't think you. Defensively, I thought you guys were pretty good. Offensively, I thought you guys were.
Listen, man. Break it down all you want here. You got Grambling in here, man. Come on.
At 5,
okay.
Like at barely making the list. You got Southern in here like they were doing something.
They at the 4th spot. What's the problem?
They
way too early.
They lost to Prairie View.
Southern has had the talent. Come on, man. Over the past decade, Southern is still.
We're not talking about the decade, Barry. We're not talking about a decade of talent. We're talking about last year. Were you a talented team?
I think Southern was a talented team last year. Southern was just with Eric Dooley was just not coached right.
Okay.
Who did they have projected to win the SWAC West coming out of SWAC Media Day last year?
Oh, Southern.
Come on, man. So stop
because
being
you went to the SWAC championship last year, Perry. Come on, you got.
All right, then. So why y'all acting like Southern just fell off when it comes to
they did. They didn't have a good season last year, Perry. I mean, you got to call it a spade a spade.
And listen, I know what y'all trying to do. You can focus on Southern all you want, but Southern, when it comes to talent, is still traditionally just talent-wise, right? Can finesse the conference enough. You talking about Alabama A&M. Right? You're talking about we finesse Texas Southern, we finesse A&M, we finesse UA. You got enough talent to finesse some of those teams. Now, the 4th spot not bad. It ain't saying we the best, but it ain't bad. So I don't understand why y'all want this huge explanation. Southern over the past decade has only had 1 losing season. So all of a sudden we just done hit rock bottom. No, yeah, you can say you don't care about the decade, but how many of those teams that you look at over the decade has been
That sounds
consistently at least
nice,
win it
Barry. I mean, if you went all of the decade, it sounds.
I'm just saying, y'all just act like it's
last year. Did you base these off the decade, or you based them off last year? I'm asking.
I based it off of last year.
Okay, then. So stop bringing up a decade. It don't matter.
So what you so worried about? So why are you asking me?
I'm just asking. No, you said you asked me. I'm asking.
I'm saying I talked about talent, and you was talking about
you said over the decade, Southern we'd have been talented. I don't care about a decade.
Well, listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
You asked about talent. Then I referred back to last year because you said you don't think Southern was talented. I said, well, who did they pick to win the SWAC West last year? You said Southern.
Go ahead.
You said because they went to the SWAC championship the year before, right?
That's true.
Okay, then. So I'm just saying Southern's talent level it wasn't like a complete, like they just got depleted like Jackson State when they got depleted when Dion left. The talent just didn't fall all the way down. It was just like we had to start back all of a sudden from nowhere. I think last year when you look at Southern, I'm not going to harp about this because this is what y'all want. I'm going to give you a little bit of this. But I don't give a damn what Southern at on here. I just think Southern is the fourth team. I don't know who gonna win this shit. I'm talking about Jackson State and FAMU.
Nobody knows. I mean, that's
but I'm just saying, talent-wise, Southern ain't just at the bottom of the barrel of talent.
No, I mean, if you're talking about bottom of the barrel, that's like UAPB, Bethune, like we all understand that. But there are 10 teams in the conference and I'm just saying, like,
well, they top 5 is all I'm saying. They top 5.
Well, my thing is, I'm trying to understand how they're at 4. That's all I'm saying. I just want to know how they make it to 4. 5. Okay, cool.
How many more ways do you want me to tell you? I just told you.
And that's why I'm telling you. That's why I asked. I asked because I'm just wondering how they got to 4.
Well, y'all just want to hate on Southern and just want to use me to talk about Southern. Go ahead. That's y'all. Get that hate out y'all heart.
The reason I said 10 teams, Mr. Campbell, because I already named UAPB and Bethune-Cookman. My thing, okay. So let me ask you this: why'd you put Prairie View over Alcorn?
Prairie View won the West last year, and I think when you look at them, Prairie View went on the road and beat Alcorn. But I just think Prairie View consistently I'm gonna use the decade again. Prairie View has just found ways to win, and it's not nothing pretty. They find ways to win. And so because of that, I think they return, they come back. I think Bubba has a team that will find ways to win. Now, I'm just putting them at 5. Last year, nobody had Prairie View to win the SWAC West, right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
You had to put them somewhere and start. Like, I don't have a complete explanation because we don't even know what these teams going to truly look like once the fall hit, right?
We all understand that. That's why they're called way too early.
Okay, so what's our problem is?
We're asking for a logical. That's all I'm asking for.
I'm giving you because y'all don't like it. Then
no, it's not. No, it's not about like. It's just I'm trying. I'm
don't like the picks. I'm
simply asking you. No. I'm simply
not
asking
badgering you why you got FAMU at number 1.
And I would explain it to you. I'm not badgering you. I'm simply asking you a question. Why did you put Prairie View over Alcorn? There's legit people in the chat that want an understanding. That's all I'm asking. Because listen, based off your top 5, you have Southern winning the West. Okay, that's what you're basing your top 5 off of. If they're the only team in the West on the top, that means you got them winning the West. But my question was to you: why did Prairie View go over Alcorn? That's all. That's my simple question. And
Fred McNair gone. You bring in what's his name? Coach. That was it. Cedric Thornton, not Cedric Thornton. Cedric Thomas. Is that Cedric Thomas?
Yeah, Cedric Thomas.
You bring in Cedric Thomas. I think when you look at the running back position, you got Dravion Howard gone, right? I think you're going to have a revamp, I think, of what Alcorn is going to look like, what we traditionally seen Alcorn. I have to see that. That is a huge, drastic turnover for me to see Alcorn change. Like, at least with Prairie View, they lost the offensive coordinator, but Bubba McDowell, it seems like there's a system that's in place. The same way with Southern. You basically keep the coaching staff, add a few pieces, but you bring in Mark Frederick as the offensive coordinator and you promote Coach Graves as the coach, but everything is still kind of there in place. It doesn't seem like at Alcorn everything is still in place for me. There seems to be a new philosophy and turnover all the way around, and I have to see what that looks like post Fred McNair. Fred McNair was a guy who I have a lot of respect for, who rode that ship I got to see what that looks like for them without Fred McNair.
Okay, that's fair. And Smash, I actually did answer this question. I said I don't like Alcorn. I said Alcorn has everybody on defense coming back. That's awesome. I don't like their quarterback, nor do I like that they're losing Jarvion Howard. And who's going to replace that production? But Draco, Mako, Lako, that kid, I don't trust it. That's why I didn't have him in my top 5. And half the battle is quarterback play in the SWAC. And most of these guys outside of FAMU and Prairie View have returning quarterbacks. Grambling has Miles Crawley. JSU has Jacoby and Morgan. Alabama State has Andrew Body. FAMU doesn't have a returning guy, but they've had a guy that's been in that system for 4 to 5 years, right, with Junior, which I believe he's going to be the quarterback going into the season. So Prairie View is the only quarterback that's going to be up in the air. But listen, when you adding Anthony Whedon does add a different level of offense that we're not used to seeing from Prairie View. But most times in Prairie View, you knew what you was going to get. You're going to run the ball 20 times and throw the ball 15, 17 times. That's just what Prairie View is. I don't know if they'll be that this year with the quarterback, but it is what it is. So my reason for Alcorn not being in my top 5 is because of the quarterback position. It really is.
We both agree on that, It's just you got Grambling, I got Southern. Other than that, the list pretty much is just showing, hey, it really ain't no difference. It's a 5 team that we feel like that could be there. And it's just 2 separations of Southern and Grambling that could be probably flip-flops. So other than that, these are teams that we just feel like next year, regardless of the order, people, right? Don't fall into just the order. These are teams that we just feel like will have that competitive nature. Clearly, it's the SWAC East next year over the SWAC West, the way that it's looking. The SWAC East just seem to have the team. And what's so unfortunate about this is, where the hell is Connell, Manor, and Alabama A&M?
They at least they got to probably like number 7 or number 8 to me. Because I would go, my 6 would be Alcorn. It might be 7. Yeah. It might be 7. 6 Southern. Southern. So 6 would be Alcorn, 7 would be Southern, 8 will probably be A&M. Yeah. Somewhere around there. Yeah.
And then y'all put y'all own top 5. Let's see how brilliant y'all are, right? Let's see all of these goddamn college football analysts that's in the chat that just, they just know so much. They study these. Can't name you 6 players off a team and 3 damn coaches. Let's see what y'all just know so much. Let me see y'all top 5. Where y'all top 5s at? They gonna put them in there? You think they will?
Well, yeah, a lot of them. Probably. Some people will.
Put y'all top 5s. Let's see y'all top 5s. 5-1. Show me your top 5 schools way too early in the SWAC. Let's see what y'all got.
He said this will be the year Maynard tears some shit up just for him to go back to being mediocre. That would be a Maynard. That would be a Maynard special, that he come out, do well, and then you kind of second guess if you want to fire him, and then you extend him, and then he go back to being ass. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he can get over that Alabama State hump, and I don't think he'll get over that Jackson. I told him, they invited me to come. The athletic director has invited me to come to Alabama A&M when Southern played. I said, look, that's in November. In order to get me to Huntsville, which is far as hell from Baton Rouge, they got to beat Florida A&M and Jackson State. If they can beat Florida, that's back to back. If you can beat Florida A&M and Jackson State, you'd have pretty much put yourself. Why you study asking me about Mark Fredericks?
He's your new OC.
I'm sit around and wait just like you, Junior. I don't know what you want from me. Shit, what do you see out of what you want?
He glad he left Prairie View.
That's what I'm saying. You and 6 other people? Congratulations.
He said FAMU Grambling at 3. Yeah, that's high. Ugh.
Yo, get on his ass.
That's high.
Get on Lauren. My bad.
Yeah, I don't mind that JSU at 5. That don't bother me at all. But Grambling at 3. That's pretty high, I would say. This is just blasphemy.
And y'all think I'm so Southern out.
JSU number 1. That's crazy. Yeah,
see, that's what I'm saying. Put the spotlight on folks.
Everybody on that list you lost to. You lost the fam. You lost the Alcorn. You lost the Bama State, but all of a sudden they number one. All right. Okay, Paris. Okay, Paris.
Yeah, y'all swear to God, I'm just so
I like this. I think this is pretty. Fam, Alabama State, Prairie View, JSU. That's not too bad. I like that one. I like that hollow. Let me see. Bama State, JSU, FAMU, PV, Graham. I don't know. I think if you put JSU over FAMU, it's only because of Jacoby and Morgan. That to me, that's the only possible explanation that you could do for putting JSU over FAMU is because
that's really why I did it. And then the run game. I mean, Mulligan, bro.
Mulligan. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Mulligan.
I'm a believer in that kid, man. I like that kid a lot, bro. I really do.
Yeah, he's good. You said barely what? That last word. Barely lost. Okay.
Barely.
Barely. Stop it. Listen, these are one of them crackheads you was talking about, P.
Well, y'all start look. Everybody jumping down on me like you don't know what you're talking about, man. Come on, bro. I just allow people to do what they do. This is exciting, right? It's way too early.
Now, PV hasn't won a SWAC championship in I don't know how long, but now all of a sudden they supposed to be in the Celebration Bowl.
And why this dude so on my top all of a sudden?
You know he a PV guy. JSU.
Hard for you, bro. You know.
I think PV's really too high. That's just my personal opinion, but it's just a lot of bias in here.
But man, because I put Southern at 4, and they putting their teams at number 1.
Graham, GSU, Grambling State.
You put them 2 and 3.
You put them.
Now y'all see, I ain't that bad, huh?
World of Fame with the handicap drum at number. Stop it, bro. Y'all got it. That handicap drum. Y'all never. All these lists are. Hey, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Faye. Okay. Crackheads coming out, showing they biased. All right, P.
I know your wife will put Southern on there. Yeah.
Why?
You'll put Southern on there.
She probably put Southern at number 1.
Oh, come on now. That's love. At least I'm trying to be modest here. I put him at 4, but damn, you know.
That's just her thing. All right, P. Let people know where they can catch you at.
Where do I start, man? Y'all can catch me, follow me on social media as well as my YouTube channel, On the Yard Network. Be able to go over there and check that out. I've been a little dormant lately because I've been traveling, but I kick things back off, maybe take some cuts from on here of us cutting up, put it out there. Then you can also follow me on the Jaguar Journal. That's on Facebook and YouTube as well. I do the Jaguar Journal radio on 107.3 FM in Baton Rouge on Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. But you can also go back and watch it on our YouTube channel. So, you can follow me on all those things, man. And right here on OffScript Network. Is it OffScript Network yet?
It's always OffScript Network. Also, let me say this. Possible that I might do an online radio. Very possible. Debating it, kind of throwing it up in the air. I put it on my Instagram. People was like, yeah, do it. I got a lot of good feedback and stuff like that. So just a possibility that I might do some online radio. So just give you guys a heads up on that. But you already know what it is. Bringing you content all day, every day. Wednesday will be the FAMU Board of Trustee meeting. I'll be showing that live on the channel. We try and get all the juiciness. All the juiciness.
What time that start?
I think it's 11. Maybe.
I remember that last one we set in on. It was dealing with the AD and the coach. Now,
oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. So, what stations? No, it'll be an online radio, so it won't be like how Perry does his. What you call it, Perry? Terrestrial.
Terrestrial radio, yeah.
Yeah, terrestrial.
I'm on airwaves and
mine will be on the internet.
Yeah.
Al Gore's internet. All right, so just something to think about. So Wednesday I'll be showing that. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Don't have any really big announcements or anything like that. Oh, the baby shower is May 18th. So the baby registry is all below. If you would like to donate to our baby registry, we'll really greatly appreciate it. Want to give a shout out to Ms. Tara Lynn. Want to give a shout out to Ms. Fly Gray Street for getting us something off our registry. We really appreciate that. We got some other packages. I got to check them out and stuff like that. But just want to give you guys a big shout out. And I'll give you guys another shout out in the earlier. A lot of you Bambas don't make it to the end, so I'll make sure I say it earlier than anything else.
And shout out to Jackson State women winning the softball tournament. They going to the NCAA tournament, man. They won softball.
Mama Body, thank you. Mama Body bought us something as well off our registry as well. Thank you for that, Mama Body and the Bodies. We appreciate that. So yeah, we thank you guys for all that as well. And shout out to Monty. He's getting us something off our registry as well. So we appreciate that as well. Let me see. Anything else? Nah,
baseball coming to an end. So you don't care about no swag baseball, do you?
No.
Your swag softball.
And that's just FAMU. I do like FAMU's baseball team. I do like them. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we're coming to the end of spring sports, man.
Yeah.
Graduation. Happy post Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, happy post Mother's Day. Yeah. Shout out to all the mothers out there.
And graduation, for the ones who got kids who graduate, and for the ones who watching that are about to graduate, congratulations to you guys as well.
Absolutely, man. So shout out to you empty nesters. Okay, I know you guys are about to become some empty nesters. So shout out to you guys for sending off your kids to college and things like that. Yeah, that's about it, man. Spring is about to be gone. Spring is about to be gone. So it is what it is, man. We appreciate it. But listen, until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holla. God bless.